so foggy tonight.
Guys, do you see that?
What? Is that fireworks?
No way.
Mais il est où le corps du chien?
Slipping through the wall. What in the world?
Столетиями набивать брюхо человеческой плотью, а карманы деньгами. Но они должны понять, что бал вампиров
Pretty sure that's AI.
That is so weird, guys. You guys see that? It's like it's saying something. It's so weird.
Well,
Yes,
Clarice.
we have.
We will ask the people.
Why Michael Jordan acting like he in the Epstein files?
What in the world was he doing? I thought they were supposed to help us with physical labor. Why is the robot doing kung fu? I think we know why. If a war ever comes, it'll be a war of robots and drones.
aggressive. Let me put this back.
Well, my mom would have me up twice. That's 2 times. Let my son try some chicanery like this, some tomfoolery. I'll wear him out. Y'all kids got a million in shade nowadays. I got my beat down. And dad just sitting there recording, hiding behind a mama like a punk. I said it. Like a punk.
Yeah, my mom wouldn't allow that at all.
Ah, bueno, qué momento. Miren nomás, mi raza. Ya valió madre. Ya se calentó esta madre. Ya valió madre, mi raza. Agárrate, hijo de la chingada. Ah, bueno, qué momento.
They're here. One of the richest men in the world owns the skeleton of this reptilian humanoid. He keep it in his basement in a glass enclosure, and he only let a certain amount of people see it. Now, how this video got out, I have no idea. What you're looking at is a prized possession of one of the richest men in the world. Owns the skeleton of this reptilian humanoid. He keep it in his basement in a glass enclosure, and he only let a certain amount of people see it.
Never before seen footage of a portal opening up near Thunder Mountain in Sedona, Arizona. You can clearly see a buddy of mine, David, put an infrared security camera on his roof and captured this portal opening up above his house. What? You can see orbs coming out. This is never before seen footage that was shot in Sedona, Arizona.
Whoa. Can definitely see that happening, that there's portals everywhere.
I put this on to look normal, but you already knew that. Want to see? I'll put it on. It stretches and seals like skin. Smooth the edges. See? Looks real, doesn't it? With the hood.
A video found in the recent Epstein Files dump shows Jeffrey sitting in front of a webcam. And in a doorway in the background, we see some sort of humanoid entity. It has a large bulbous head, and it's standing in the doorway of a room. It's not a static figure, because as you can see, it moves toward the end of the video. It has a humanoid body, but a large bulbous head. The video is grainy, so it's hard to make out any other features, but some people claim to see large eyes as well. Could this entity be something similar to Lamb, who was summoned from a different sexual deviant in 1918, one Aleister Crowley?
You got Epstein in everything. Microtransactions, paranormal stuff, weird stuff we already know about is absolutely disgusting. Politics, in billionaires' back pocket, robbing them. I mean, it just seems like he's in everything. I think his videos of new footage saying that people like leaders in different countries would email him first about certain decisions. Like, to me, that's just mind-blowing how much influence he had. No wonder why they wanted him. He knew too much. But there are some people saying that he is still alive, and there's footage of it. Somewhere, I think it's the United States. I think it's like Utah or something. Let me know in the comments. I could be wrong. What do you think? What do you think? Do you think that that he was just a middleman, or do you think that he was actually like, up there? I know, like, we see it a lot on this channel. That's the main thing that's going on with conspiracies right now, is Epstein being in a bunch of different things.
They're about to start holding people accountable that was on those EpiPen files. And they're starting with Prince Andrew. So if you don't know, Prince Andrew just got arrested. And he was arrested for suspicion of misconduct while in public office. Mind you, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor was on those EpiPen files. And once they found that out, they removed him out of his residence, stripped him of being a prince, and now they just locked him up. They're saying that Andrew was forwarding emails to Jeffrey Epstein while he was a public official. What type of email? Now, you got to know that Prince Andrew is the same guy that was traveling around the world, speaking to different people for over 10 years, trying to foment relationships for the British government. So how did he get involved and in bed with Epstein? That's how. Trying to foment relationships. They're saying that this man was forwarding confidential documents to Jeffrey EpiPen. Mind you, they asked Prince Andrew how long he was dealing with Jeffrey Epstein, what type of relationship he had with Jeffrey Epstein. And apparently he lied, because they found out he was dealing with him longer than he said he was dealing with him. Needless to say, this man right here had a lot of dirt on a lot of people, and it's only the beginning. Hopefully the United States follows suit. Pay attention.
Oh my God!
This family woke up to a violent pounding coming from their basement. The dog sensed a presence the owners couldn't see. The husband grabbed his phone thinking he was about to catch a burglar, but he caught a physical impossibility. Watch the empty hallway. The second he says hello, the slamming stops. Then, heavy rhythmic footsteps start sprinting directly at him. You can hear the actual weight of the entity hitting the wood, but there's no body in the frame. Forensic researchers believe this is a kinetic manifestation, a spirit that has gained enough energy to move with physical mass. The husband barely made it out. He claims he felt the air move as it ran past. If you were trapped in a basement and heard something sprinting at you, would you stay to film or run for your life? Comment, run if you're out. Follow for more declassified files.
Yeah, this one gives me the chills. A woman took a cute photo of her kids peeking over a fence. The fence is a surround for a swimming pool, and on the other side of the fence is a graveyard. The kids said they were curious and wanted to look out into the graveyard. But in this seemingly normal photo, the woman captured a figure. whispering to one of the children. There is a creepy gray face with glowing white eyes, with its mouth open, and it looks like it's talking in the ear of this child. Now, I'm not sure if the spirit is attached to this child, but I have noticed a reoccurring thing with photos of ghosts near water, and that is they do look like drowned victims. They are gray, they look bloated, they're usually kind of shiny, and that's what this looks like to me. So I'm wondering if maybe the spirit was attracted to the pool, and I'm not sure, but it kind of does look like the spirit is a child. It has a very small nose and mouth, and its head does seem to be about the same size as the other children's heads. What do you guys think about this? Let me know. And don't forget to like and follow for more.
Hey, fool. A demon face formed in the clouds, y'all. Look at this shit. Look. So, now everybody process things differently. So what I'm seeing might not be what you're seeing. So let me know down below in the comments. What do you see? Cause to me, fool, that joint look crazy. Like you can see the nose, the eyes, the eyebrows. Then up there look like a horn. Like I said, I don't know. Everybody see things differently. But what I do know is people that was in this area, they was freaking out because the clouds was doing some shit. The lightning was doing some shit they ain't never seen. So you put two and two together, that's some crazy shit.
The world is a stage. Jesse Jackson was unalived at the age of 84. But what if I tell you that this is another ritual? Because he just so happened to be unalived during a certain month, and he just so happened to be a part of a certain lodge, as you see right here on screen. Oh yeah, and he was a 33rd degree at that. And speaking of 33, he just so happened to be unalived 33 weeks until his next birthday. But I guess all of this is just one big coincidence, right? And remember that we just lost Robert Duvall the other day. Nice ring there, Robert. And now Jesse Jackson a couple of days later. Let's see if they do another one to make it the trifecta, because they always love to do things in threes.
What in the world type of fish?
Bro, that's some kind of hybrid fish with arms, bro. Like, if it's AI, it's AI. The AI detectors is gonna be angry. But that look real to me, bro. Like all these videos that I come across, I'm getting all the real deal, bro. That's a fish with arms. And it got caught in the net, bro. What's going on here? It's either scientists are playing games out here, right, and testing the waters and seeing what they're trying to create, or mermaids out here sleeping with fishes somehow, and they creating this guy right here. Something's going on here, bro. It's getting spooky out here, man. Y'all think it's a game, bro. I do this for educational and entertainment purposes only, man. Leave it in the comments, hit the like button, make sure you follow me here for more. We're gonna keep on exposing these hybrid creatures, bro. Salute.
This video, you are looking at an underground facility that houses strange creatures. This creature right here is known as Batman.
Nah, this isn't just people meat. This is the soft launch of the Soylent timeline. They're just mocking us at this point because they think we can't do anything about it. Tell me why are "it's people meat" the only words highlighted? If you know, you know. TikTok. I'm just reading the label.
Yes, it will perform. That call
Yeah, that gotta be symbolism for something bad.
Oh, they didn't go back in 50 years, but they just so happen to want to go back when AI is at its absolute fucking unmistakable hard to realize.
Hey, I'm walking around San Francisco right now, and I haven't seen a homeless motherfucker yet. I don't know where y'all put him, but I hope y'all took care of him. That's all I got to say. Because I never seen a city full of homeless people. It ain't no homeless people out here. Right now, that's crazy. I done hit hella blocks.
Yeah, I hope they took care of him too. But, you know, I got dark thoughts thinking that they might have did something crazy to him.
In connection to my previous videos, for those of you who are still skeptical of Epstein being a reptilian or a lizard, please consider this email. Now, this email was sent to Jeffrey Epstein, and look what this person says. She had a biopsy, it seems, and an ultrasound and surveillance CT yesterday. But no, she says this: I'm a Highlander or a lizard. I've seen the ovaries and the tumors in jars and also the videos from surgery, so I know they are out. Maybe I'm not really human. I mean, the video doesn't make it clear that Epstein is a lizard, but the person that is messaging him seems to be considering that they are a lizard, or at least talking code, joking about it. Or maybe not.
There is nothing more interesting to adult men than the development of an adolescent female. We are hardwired to recognize that.
You have the most adorable, pretty eyes. You have a boyfriend?
No, sir.
How about me?
There's a lot of sexual energy that is oozing out of that little girl. She can't possibly manage that kind of sexuality.
At the tender age of 10, Britney was already using her budding sexuality to attract an audience. But when the Star Search cameras turned on, Britney was transformed, pouring on a sexy southern charm the judges had never seen in a package so small.
She comes out in a very provocative gown with high heels, and all of a sudden that little girl knocks you right off your ass.
That might explain why she seems a little erratic nowadays. That is absolutely disgusting. And what we know now about the Epstein files and stuff. What? I've never once looked at an adolescent girl and thought, yeah. No, that is absolutely disgusting. What is wrong with these people?
David McPhillips has stepped down right after the Epstein files. Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese, where your kids can have pizza parties, and I found him in the files. Yep, there he is in the files. One of the most ultimate pizza parties for kids. And look, this character is wearing a black top hat. Says he's been there since 2019. Wonder if that was before or after Epstein. The email he's in is titled FBI Speakers, and it's from Azizi Al-Mahdi. What is the CEO of Chuck E. Cheese doing as a speaker for the FBI? Did you guys ever notice the black hat this Chuck E. Cheese character is wearing? What does it remind you of? Oh, and he was in charge of international development for Six Flags. Oh, and look, now you can have unlimited visits for just $7.99 a month. This image can be found at the Showbiz OC Art Building. Allegedly. How creepy are these characters? And yes, I did find his name in the actual DOJ website, and I'm still in shock. I don't understand. I mean, it's the ultimate pizza party for children. I'm like so ill, I literally...
Oh, it's so young. So, Justin, why am I here?
There were so many Epstein Files connections to Justin Bieber's Yummy video. First, let's talk about how he promoted the song by using a bunch of pictures of babies. Like the hashtag Yummy, and also wrote Yummy and pizza. And this word Yummy was used like 300 times in these Epstein Files. I haven't seen anybody point this out, but at the end of the video, there's a baby pig on the table. At the start of the video, we see him walking through the kitchen, going to the table with the old rich people as if he's being served. They have very young people as the entertainment. I see Justin with a sandwich in front of him, guarded by a piece of bread. On the sandwich is this red cherry or olive with red little sticks in them, which later becomes black with black sticks. Serving disgusting food with peas, P. Diddy, and this pink. I wanted to point out this looks like a pizza. You see Justin with a pink drink in front of him, messing around with this guy's glasses. All the adults are taking turns sitting down with him. You see this pink goo with circus peanuts on top during the words, "You ain't never running low on supplies." And the pink drink, so think about the pink stuff at these parties. What do you think these peanuts could represent?
If you're enjoying content like this, I make several videos out of the week. It would be so cool if you hit the sub button and join me on my next video.
This is Milo, Pets Are Family. But every year, 10 million go missing. Yeah. And the way we look for them hasn't changed in years. Until now. One post of a dog's photo in the Ring app starts outdoor cameras looking for a match. Search Party from Ring uses AI to help families find lost dogs. Since launch, more than a dog a day has been reunited with their family. Be a hero in your neighborhood with Search Party. Available to everyone for free right now.
That's an awesome thing, right? Being able to find your lost dog if it gets lost. That is awesome. That is wholesome. I'm sure that's all that this is going to be used for, right? Being able to find your dog in pretty much seconds if it gets lost. I mean, that is truly, truly, truly awesome stuff. And this video is for entertainment purposes only. All I'm doing is commenting on how awesome that this is right here. That's all that I am doing. And again, I'm sure that this is all that this is going to be used for. Right? Wake up.
That is really nice that you could find your dog so fast, right? But if we can't even find missing people, how are we going to find missing dogs? And we know for a fact, if they want to find somebody missing, they will find it. This is just going to be used for something way darker than what they're saying.
A crazy question. What the fuck is going on with the TikTok search bar? Your mobile device is still in the vehicle. Leave America now. Beware of the man who speaks in hands. There's a little boy playing and I don't even know what that one says. What? I gave you too many chances. What is this? If you were innocent, God wouldn't have to send me. What the fuck? I refreshed it and this is what popped up. Not everything is about your insecurities. An unrecognized device may have been added to your account. I refreshed it again. How do you know if there's a demon attached to you? I don't know why my search bar is this stuff. Is it safe to look up if you have a removal? I'm not gonna say it because I don't want keywords on here, but I'll let you guys figure that one out. How do you know I didn't answer a question? Look how like the didn't doesn't have an apostrophe. Why is he not responding to the situation I'm in? This is so weird, but there's a couple more. I want you to know I'm never leaving. How to block someone from seeing your videos. An unrecognized device has been... I'm going to bed, and this is the last one. Interdimensional beings sighted today. What the fuck? Look, man. No God. That's all I have to say. We're reaching a really weird time right now, and just no God. Remember when people noticed Wayfair had their furniture named after missing kids and everyone laughed it off like, bad Brandon, calm down. Yeah, people don't laugh at that clip the same anymore. Yeah, as of recently, just saying some old internet moments went from funny to real fast. Follow me or your phone will only charge at the worst angle.
Something so awesome is happening to me. I can't say too much just yet, but I'm really excited to go on this journey with you all. Stay tuned as we begin this next chapter.
What's up with her eyes?
To be honest, it's a little weird because I know we're gonna eat a $70,000 pizza later, so it's kind of hard to get hyped for like a $2,000 steak. You know what I mean?
Really like looks like July 4th. It keeps coming back. It's a finest beef. I believe that you'll have a taste.
I bet this will trigger him. Do you have any A1 steak sauce? Stop. I called it.
Oh my God!
Whoa! It's like slicing into a baby.
Huh?
Poor torso first.
This vine funny as hell.
What? Hey! These rich people over here doing some weird.
Oh my God!
No, you can look at them. I swear to God.
Why would they do that? That doesn't even make any sense.
It's like every single rich person ever, bro. I swear to God.
Here, go away,
bro.
Just believe everything you see.
10 years later.
Oh my God, this is terrible. Who knew this was happening and why did no one say anything about it ever? Oh my God, this is awful. No one saw it coming.
I'm Elon and I actually wasn't on the island.
This is exactly what's happening to me now. I literally get text messages from friends talking about Epstein and stuff. And, oh, that's so wild. XYZ is in it. I'm like, I've known about that for over a decade now. I'm glad other people are finally catching on, like the general public.
Down this. Look at this food's taking, she's door dashing and taking food from the people. Oh, what a sick fool. He's putting his shoes on there. Oh, wow. 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 I got you on camera, bro. You're sick, bro. You're disgusting. Why are you gonna put your shoes? You're disgusting, bro. You're nasty, bro. This guy's putting shoes on the people's food. You're disgusting, bro. You're sick. You're disgusting, bro. I got you on camera, bro.
It's mine.
Huh?
It's mine.
It's yours?
Mine.
Okay, bro, it's yours. Sick.
Veala, ¿por fin la atraparon? Ya llevaba varias noches en las casas.
Man, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Do that shit look AI or that shit look real? But the backstory on this situation is apparently this supposed to have been a witch that turned into this bird near the Gulf of Mexico over there by Veracruz. But hey, y'all let me know. But 2026 is a lot of crazy shit going on, man. Look at this, man. This shit is crazy. A photograph. It's crazy.
If you're enjoying content like this, I make several videos out of the week. It would be so cool if you hit the sub button and join me on my next video.
I wanted y'all to see that the same way I had to see it. You have to understand, these people are playing in our faces. That is something that happens in real life, in their everyday life. They use that as entertainment. 100% I do believe that they be eating people. They laugh while the person is screaming in pain, held down by whatever. Like, come on. You say, oh, it's art. This satanic occult thing they got going on that every artist is a part of. Oh, it's just art. They're just doing a fashion statement. Oh, if you don't use your noggin, most people don't. So I'm not gonna blame you, because you probably didn't use that thing every single day in your life. You just over here walking around like Patrick. And that's fine. That's fine. But if you was in the slow class to say that, bro, they're playing in our faces and we let them.
There's another good synchronicity that somebody told me about, which kind of blew my mind, was this record that was released in July 2001 by a group called, you're not going to believe this, I Am the World Trade Center. There's a group called I Am the World Trade Center, and on an album which was called Out of the Loop, you can see, you go down the track list on Discogs, if you look at the 11th track on the CD, it's called September. Right there you've got the name of the place and you've got the date, all encoded on the album, which was released in July 2001.
There's just no limit to my fascination with those syncs between pop culture and real world events.
It's almost like the universe has some type of sick humor, because how can all that line up like that? Unless...
Are you an angel? What you just said? Are you an angel?
I'm the angel of filth. The angel of filth. Those who don't know
what I'm saying?
I understand exactly what you're saying. Yes, sir. I'm already like 3,000 years old right now. I just tell people I'm 33 because I don't age. I'm immortal. There's nothing new under the sun. My mother had with an angel, was born an immortal, and ain't even know it.
I can do things that mere mortals can't do. I've been to heaven, what people call heaven. I've been to the celestial court. I never saw hell before in my life, but heaven is scary. I saw creatures that could have crushed me like this, and they was all in fear.
Okay, I'm on a work trip and staying at the Marriott in California, and I left this morning at probably about 7 a.m. and just got back a minute ago. And the first thing I noticed was that my TV was on. Don't mind some of the mess in the background. And I'm like, that's weird. I didn't leave the TV on when I left this morning. And then I look a little closer, and this is what it says on the home screen. I got instant chills, looked around to make sure nobody broke into my room, and am just feeling pretty creeped out by it.
Definitely calling downstairs to file a complaint at the least, and most, you need to give me a different room, because that's some type of sick joke and it's not funny. It's creepy.
These Super Bowl ads were really weird. The Ritz Cracker ad was about a party on an island, and these two dudes were salty that they weren't invited until Scarlett Johansson invited them. Then they weren't mad anymore and joined the party. It seems like they're saying that we're just salty we weren't invited to the parties too. In the Nerds commercial, they got a dude who looked just like Jeffrey Epstein eating candy with children running around in his background. In the Pringles commercial, Sabrina Carpenter had a boyfriend who was made out of Pringles. Suddenly he dies and then everyone just starts eating him. This shocks Sabrina Carpenter until she gets a bite for herself. Then she made a face like, oh, it's really not that bad. They trying to tell us don't knock it until you try it, bro. Eat people, gang. In the Alexa commercial, Chris Hemsworth was telling his wife how he was scared about the AI and she was just telling him that he was crazy. And then the AI suggested to give him a back massage and then everything was good. Like that was it. It's like they're telling us we're doing too much about the AI. Now comment down below. Am I thinking too deep into this or are they doing this on purpose, gang?
I think they're doing it on purpose, but I also think the main message here is don't think, just consume. Consume, consume, consume. Buy everything we showing and shove it in your face and don't question anything about these islands, the corruption, or anything. Just buy whatever we throw in front of your face because you're too dumb to think otherwise because we keep telling you not to think. Just consume.
Steam Files. There was some things said about McDonald's. Jeffrey Epstein was writing an email explaining how a certain term of people to be tricked into eating human flesh. Oh, this is gross. Yeah. The meat that's in... No. Yeah. No. No. Yeah. So McDonald's has ties to hospital. You know that, right? Yeah. Ronald McDonald Hospital. Yeah. Where's the farms?
That's a good question. That's a great question. That's a great question.
So, they did the math. There's like the amount of burgers that McDonald's produces. There's not enough cows.
Yeah, 100%.
There's not enough cows.
Yeah.
So where does it come from?
That's comes from something else.
Yeah,
process lab or something. No.
Yeah, so,
Gavin. I just got it. I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So if they have,
before continuing, I wanted to warn you guys. Their phones were being spied on. Click on this icon, then on more. If you see it, delete it immediately.
If they have like connects to a hospital.
Oh my gosh, I just caught it.
Yeah, but obviously this is just all.
Wait.
But it's in the Epstein
file. That was in the files?
Epstein files.
No, I can't even gun it.
That's what I'm saying.
Y'all seen this one right here yet? They find this door behind the wall. Then through the doorway, look, watch right here in the doorway. Watch this.
Can I open it? I thought it was so easy. Oh my actual God. Welcome back. Oh, Brandon, to be fair though, it's...
They must have broke the wall down. What's going on? Hold on. I'm a little scared. What's that? What y'all see? Let me know. Oh, that's like a little wooden, that's like a couch. See? With a cover. Is somebody in that cover? Oh, that's a whole extra room. They're not gonna pop out, is it? Hold on. Oh, somebody right.
When people talk about how they believe the earth is shaped differently than what we've been told, this is probably one of the best representations I found of what they actually mean. Whenever people talk about theories involving the shape of the earth, a lot of people just assume that they are just flat earthers. But there's a big group of people that believe the earth is simply bigger than what we've been taught or what we think. According to this theory, what we think of as Antarctica isn't an ice continent at the bottom of our world, but instead circling the 6 continents that we live on, similar to what you see in this video. And if you were to make it past Antarctica, you would run into an entirely different group of land masses or continents that we have no clue even exists. It's believed that these different continents have different species and societies based in different eras of time. So for example, one group of continents may have prehistoric creatures while another group has extremely advanced civilizations. This theory also states that these other land masses are where UFOs actually come from, opposed to somewhere deep in outer space. Similar to how we use drones to observe the civilization on North Sentinel Island, UFOs are sent from these other areas to observe us. And the reason we aren't told about the existence of all this is because according to this theory, our 6 continents are owned by a small group of people. While we use paper and digital currencies amongst each other that only has value amongst our 6 continents, this group of people takes the precious metals like gold, silver, and copper and becomes extremely wealthy in the other more advanced civilizations. And as a disclaimer, this is all for entertainment purposes only, and I'm not claiming this is backed by scientific evidence.
Pay attention to how this lady shuts this airplane door. Now, do you see how heavy duty that is? How it has to vacuum seal so that everyone's safe? Now watch how this astronaut shuts this extremely advanced space hatch. Yeah, while he's in outer space, he's using that to protect him from the radiation, the extreme temperature differences. Okay, whatever, dude. Have you noticed how the boots don't even match the footprints on the moon? And how sometimes the astronauts actually forget to put their shoes on the right way? So if they're so smart, and only the strongest, smartest human beings on Earth can go to space, then how can't they put their shoes on the right way? And how is the sun's light hitting the moon from 2 completely different angles in this photo? You know, the Red Hot Chili Peppers might have been right in that song, Californication, talking about how, you know, Hollywood may have taken part in the moon landing. I mean, seriously, does it really look like they're doing anything important up there? They're just like banging metal around and they're like, oh, look at me, I'm in space. They're in a bathtub in Austin, Texas. But of course, this video was for entertainment purposes only.
The moment Ricky Martin appeared, the message became crystal clear. This was the passing of the torch from the old to the new, marking the official beginning of Bad Bunny's reign as the new industry gatekeeper. Lady Gaga wasn't just randomly chosen for this performance either. While it might seem like they snuck a white artist in to keep America from rage quitting, Gaga played a much more important role in this ritual. She played the part of the High Priestess. In ancient and esoteric traditions, blue is a color often associated with the divine feminine and the Great Mother, which is connected to Isis. In esoteric rituals, the High Priestess provides the spiritual authority for the initiate. By wearing blue, she represents the mother figure of the industry, the one who had already been initiated, symbolically baptizing the new initiate in the industry's higher ranks. Essentially, she was leading this ritual, passing the symbolic torch from Ricky Martin to Bad Bunny. The third and final part of the ritual was the completion of the great work and the moment of ascension. Towards the end of the performance, we see Bad Bunny ascending on the power poles. To most, this moment was simply just a tribute to Puerto Rico's infrastructure, but in the language of the occult, it was telling a completely different story. This was meant to demonstrate the literal completion of the great work. He was positioning himself at the very top of the energy grid. In the occult, electricity is often linked to the light bringer, the spark of life and consciousness, often described as a divine spark. The purpose of the great work is to power that divine spark so it could ascend and reach enlightenment. By standing on the energy poles, he positioned himself between the heavens and the earth, with the sparks representing the activation of his own divine spark. Symbolically, he was siphoning the focus of 100 million people and grounding it into the stage to feed off their energy. He wasn't just performing, he was being initiated into the highest orders of the secret religion that runs Hollywood.
We gotta be living in a simulation. Because why did I just find out there are real life superheroes running around? You heard what I just said? They have real life superheroes, Superman, Batman type running around. Oh, you don't believe me, right? Look at this.
Hey guys, I'm Red Ranger, one of the Emerald City Heroes organization, and I am one of the Seattle superheroes.
Red Ranger.
And I've been doing this about 12 years, since 2013. What we're out here to do, we're out here to help people. So we're out here looking for
where are we at right now?
Safety checks. We hand out supplies, care packages. We also do our best to fight crime when we see it, keep people safe, keep people protected. So you know how it is when the city calls, Echo answers. Y'all take care, stay safe as always. We'll see you in the streets.
You have a superhero named Skyline in Albuquerque, New Mexico. You have another superhero named Nomark from Minneapolis, Minnesota. And then you got the Red Ranger, and he's in Seattle. I need to know who knew this. They are helping the community. They are out here fighting crime. They have on costumes like in the movie. And I know it's not a joke. But I'm just trying to figure out who's taking these people serious. I don't know what type of weapons they have, but I know for a fact that if somebody pull out oh man, the Red Ranger said he is down with the Emerald City Heroes organization. It's more of them. Only thing I can say is, if you out there, you doing what you're doing, and you a superhero, be safe, because this ain't TV. I need to know if they got superheroes like this in New York. If you're a superhero and you in New York, jump in the comments. Matter of fact, let me know about superheroes worldwide. Jump in the comments, man. I'm out.
You know what's bad when you got to rely on vigilantes to get the job done. To me, that's just crazy that it's people out here willing to risk their lives for crime. This is not a movie. You actually get hurt. But kudos to them for taking things in their own hand, but I just hope they be careful.
This is officially the clearest recording of phantom passengers ever captured at an international airport. Phuket International Airport is known for its beauty, but after the sun sets, it becomes the site of one of the world's most chilling mysteries. Watch the airplane gangway suspended in the air. There is no plane attached, no boarding scheduled, and the entire terminal is supposedly empty. Yet, look at the glass. Dozens of shadowy figures can be seen running toward a flight that doesn't exist. Skeptics claim this is a simple reflection, but look at the individual movements. You can see the distinct outlines of people carrying luggage, rushing as if they are late for boarding. Many locals believe these are the lost souls of the 2007 plane crash that claimed 89 lives on these very grounds. It's as if they are trapped in a loop, forever trying to reach a destination they will never see. The most terrifying part? Some airport staff refuse to work near this gate after midnight, claiming they still hear the muffled announcements for a flight that never landed. If you were sitting in this terminal alone and saw a line of shadows boarding an empty bridge, would you stay to film or get on the next flight out? Comment Spirit if you believe and follow for more declassified footage.
I'm gonna play Baby One More Time, and then I want to play it backwards for you guys. I think now knowing everything that we know, we can put the pieces together. It speaks for itself. Recorded by Britney Spears when she was 15 years old.
Give me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more time.
Male execs have tried to normalize PDF files through TV, film, media, music, and particular subliminal messaging. I just think it's so creepy knowing everything that we know now, especially after that clip I found of Megan Fox on Jimmy Kimmel. Her basically saying, yeah, Michael Bay sexualized me when I was 15 years old. And I was 15. And Jimmy Kimmel goes, yeah, well, that's the way all our minds work. We just have a decency to suppress it. Whoa, what? What you mean all? Who is we? Who is we, first of all? You look at every single vampire storyline ever created, and it's with a 16-year-old girl and a man who's, 200 years old. And the plotline is him basically stalking her, first.
I'm very black and white when it comes to that type of stuff. And if you know me on this channel, you already know how I feel about that. So I'm not going to say that because I don't need my channel to get striked again. So I do believe that the industry definitely was trying to normalize it, and they definitely was doing it in the 90s up until this point, especially early 2000s. And they feel like they don't have to do it as much anymore. I feel like so they just put it right in front of our faces, even with the satanic rituals and things like that. Back in the day, it was kind of, hidden. Now it's not. It's everywhere, and to me, it's crazy. How can you just be okay with pushing stuff like that unless you're a disgusting piece of crap yourself, right? That is literally my nightmare. Of a snake being in a bed with me, and a king cobra of all things. Those things can go up to 20 feet or something like that. I've seen that thing stand up taller than a basketball player. Don't it spit acid to you? So glad I don't live in India.
Now, this next video was submitted to me by Sam J, who's part of the yearbook team at her high school. One afternoon, while a group of senior students were rehearsing for a graduate ceremony that took place last spring, a camera inside the auditorium recorded something that left all students, including staff, terrified.
What you guys can do first is you're gonna take the diploma from me, and
It was during a speech rehearsal by the school principal that this was caught. Take a look.
that's okay. We don't want any broken ankles tonight for graduation. So then we're going to talk about individual accomplishments a little bit, and we'll move you off to the side before other stuff starts. Of this pod. Just a change in air pressure, or was that a friendly ghost, Mr. Baker? Thank you, sir. And then, let's see, then we'll talk about STEM.
The principal carries on, paying little attention to what just happened, as he claims this could have been due to wind pressure. But despite thinking this, it would be what happens next that completely changes his mind while instructing students on how to move on stage. This is captured.
The programs and how we're trying to grow those, and also maybe a little bit about growing sports programs as well. And then we'll talk about your individual achievements and how you guys have really taken leadership. Everybody should give us their science.
One of those for like 20
we must have an open door somewhere else in the building, blowing that open. Anyway, so let's get started just the way that we're going to go. So we'll go John Anderson, we'll do the thing, walk over, and then Cal Connors, thing, come over, then we got no, that's the right order. So Michael Thompson comes over, and that, right. Then we've got Emily Rodriguez. Same thing, and
It's at this point that the notion of this being just the wind stops making sense. A cap on one of the students flies off their head. Almost as if someone knocked it off, the hat zips across in a swift and sudden motion before landing close to the exit. The same exit where no one was seen opening the door. Even the principal, who initially thought it was nothing, couldn't make sense of this. According to Sam J, the yearbook member who sent me this clip, he was just as baffled as everyone else. Now, after this happened, they proceeded to finish up the rehearsal before leaving an hour later. The next day, Sam takes a video of the exit door and shows that they're not automatic. If they were, then this definitely would have explained the doors opening, but given that they're not, and considering the cap incident, perhaps what occurred here was caused by something unexplainable. If true, then students might not be as sad to leave the school on graduation day, given that it might be haunted. Now that's creepy.
You want to know what I think they're doing? As soon as a celebrity steps out of line, they that character or switch the consciousness. So a new consciousness takes over their body, and it's one of the demons. It's one of the demons taking over their bodies. That's why they all look different, because an entirely new energy is controlling their body. It's why they have soulless eyes. There's no soul in those eyes. I'm going to show a couple pictures of the new versions of celebs that literally have no soul in their eyes, okay? We're going to start off with none other than Bonnie Blue, and no, she's not a celebrity, but she has the same eyes. Look at her eyes. There is a demon inside of there, and you cannot convince me otherwise. There is no soul. She's also the girl who let 400 men have unprotected sex with her in one day, and they were wearing masks, okay? She's one of their pawns. Next up, Miley Cyrus. Soul, no soul. Here's another picture. No soul, soul. Can you tell by the eyes? Look at her eyes. There's nothing behind there. Bradley Cooper, soul, no soul. Look at his eyes. Simon Cowell's another one. Soul, No soul. They did something to Meghan Trainor. I don't know what's going on with her, but that is not the real her. Someone has definitely taken over her body.
In this photo, she literally looks like that actress from the movie Get Out. That is not the same person. And since when does she hang out with the Kardashian Jenners? Like, I didn't even recognize her in this photo. And don't even get me started on Kris Jenner's 70th birthday. I could go on and on about how that was literally a meeting for the Illuminati.
I don't think I'm ready to go down that far of a rabbit hole with that. I don't agree with most of the stuff she's saying. I think it would be weird. Like, why would a demon want an older body? Wouldn't they want a younger body so they could do whatever they want to do? Secondly, I just think it's just celebrities are used to being in the spotlight. And then when they fall off, their management or something is telling them maybe if they look young again, it'll help. Or they just can't accept the fact they're getting older. I'm getting older. I turned 39 this year, and I don't want like no surgery or nothing. But I'd be lying to myself if I didn't think about me when I had a younger body. I wouldn't have half the issues I currently have. I didn't have it in my 20s or even early 30s. Getting older kind of sucks. If you ask most people, I'm sure the people watching, they may agree or may not agree. Maybe they got past that midlife crisis and they have came to the fact that they're just getting older. There's nothing they can do about it. They have to accept the process because it can be a blessing to be able to get older. But celebrities don't see it like that because literally their body, their physical image is pretty much their moneymaker. So a lot of them just can't accept the fact they're getting older. So they get these weird cosmetics and it just, to me, it make them look uncanny. And when it comes to the first person, Blondie Blue, she claims she's like 25. Ain't no way she's 25. But yeah, her eyes definitely look soulless. They look like somebody who was a psychopath. Maybe that's why she allowed herself to do what she did. I don't even know if that situation is true because there's some situations saying that she didn't even do that. She just did it. She just said she did it for clout. Who knows? I just don't see a demon wanting an older body. But if you think differently, let me know in the comments because I would love to hear a different perspective.
And that Meta is trying to keep people alive online after they die. You heard what I just said? They want to use an AI to post as you after you die. Meta just secured a patent for AI that can manage a deceased person's account. Not memorize, not freeze it. We're talking about running a deceased person's account, posting on it, replying to messages, even making videos using historical data. So let me get this straight. You die, but your profile doesn't. This AI uses your past posts, your DMs, your voice notes, your captions, your behavior patterns. This thing studies how you talk, how you joke, how you argue, and then it replicates you. They're calling this innovation, but I'm calling this digital resurrection without your consent. I want you to go back. Remember when celebrities were signing deals with Meta? Selling their likenesses for AI. That wasn't random. All that tells me is they've been building this the whole entire time. And here's the part that's crazy as hell. Go down the rabbit hole. Find out what Meta means in Hebrew. Meta in Hebrew means but it's a conspiracy, right? See what it is, you don't think symbolism matters to these people. It matters. So now
could you imagine somebody you cared about, they pass away, and the normal, natural thing to do is to come to terms with that, accept it, and go on with your life. Still have memories of this person, still have fond times with this person in your mind, but they truly live on forever through your heart and through your mind. Could you imagine that the next month, your ex-girlfriend or your ex-wife or your child or something died and then they posting something on Meta? That's why I not really got down with the whole celebrities, you being able to talk to them on Meta and all that stuff. I always thought it was very odd. And maybe that is the end goal because think, Facebook and all the Meta products are free, which means you're the product. The reason why I don't like really touching a lot of social media because it's just not good for your mind. It definitely wasn't good for mine because I was subconsciously comparing myself to people that were around the same age as me. Like, oh, they go to nice restaurants, they got a nice relationship, they got a car, they got money, they got this. I don't got none of that when I was younger. So it really put me in a bad place because on the social media, 90% of the time, you're usually only seeing the good parts of people's relationships and good parts of their life. You're not seeing the depression and other things that could just come through somebody's life. You just don't see that like that most of the time. But of course, Meta want to push that because it's infinite content for them. it allows them to keep making content, which they're not paying a person, by the way. So people stay on that website because all they care about, even YouTube, all they care about is you staying on the site as long as possible so they can push you ads. And they want your data so they can push you personalized ads. Because all this stuff is usually about is getting you to spend that sweet money that you use your labor getting paid hourly to do so. So I stopped using Facebook like over a decade ago. And it's funny how they deleted my account because they said I was committing fraud, yet I didn't use the account for over 8 years before they deleted it. I never trusted Facebook like that. After like 2013 maybe.
They have just found the bones of Jesus in the desert, and also they found proof on Mars that shows that aliens have been around longer than we have. That is the big lie that's coming to you very soon. You know they invert everything. It's not a golden age, it's quite the opposite. And would you believe me if I told you that the church was in on a lot of it? Get to that in a minute. It's very important you watch this video, by the way. So of course Obama came out and said that aliens are real. At which point Trump came out and said, oh, he shouldn't have done that. Then his daughter-in-law came out and said that he's preparing a speech for us. Of course Reagan said, I wonder how fast our differences would aside if we were facing an extraterrestrial threat. But he wasn't the first one that said that. That speech has been around since 1907, along with the New World Order and the Novus Ordo Seclorum. So let me ask you this. What exactly happens when we finally do attack Iran? It's Iran. Shut up. Did you know that China and Russia are also in the strait with them right now? Let me ask you this. Will that cause like a global conflict to arise? If so, will we have help from this board of peace to bring peace, or would there be other things that helped us create peace? Let's cut right to the chase. The Shah was brought forth by devil worshippers and empowered by opening portals in the desert. At which point it was set in stone everything that was going to happen, and all the leaders have been predestined. They've been working on the alien lie for decades. Why just now to release the files? Because it doesn't even matter anymore. The ones that you really want to fall for this are actually the Christians. I'll tell you how that gets done in 1 second. And I'm about to upload a 10-minute subscriber version of this video because half the things I can't say right here. Remember the Denver airport mural, by the way? Even if you like the man, you can't tell me there's no way. We know from the Bible the end does not end with peace just yet. The alien agenda is almost here, so how would they make it work? We found the bones of Jesus. We found these things on Mars showing that they were here first. And then, of course, this Project BB with Nashad. They're going to show God in the sky. And he's going to say and corroborate all the stuff they're saying. And like, oh yeah, it's all one. And the crazy part, like I told y'all from an interview 2 years ago, that FEMA was handing out contracts and NDAs to mega pastors. So what happens with Sunday Christians when the mega pastors, and also the non-Christians, when the mega pastors say that everything they're saying is true? Both the hologram and the bones and all that stuff. Of course, Lucifer. The crazy part, the aliens are not going to be benevolent at first. Christians are the main target to deceive because they have the one word that can free them from the hands of these beings when they become benevolent. And when I say beings, we're not just talking about demons. Demons, fallen angel, and fleshly creatures created by the fallen angels. Because if the Christians don't know, then who else will? It's all going to be about peace first, then disaster immediately after.
I didn't even think about that. Humans could use technology to make it look like God is in the sky and saying stuff. I don't know why it ever came across my mind, especially doing research on this channel. They definitely could do that. They could have a trumpet be played around the whole world at once to fool people. That's just crazy. I didn't even think about, especially with like the drone shows. Now I think about it, that's probably why that one girl who I have on the channel, I can't remember her name, I think it's Katie or something. He was so mad when they showed the Jesus coming out of the water with the drones. Because if it looked like that now, imagine how it's going to look like 2 years from now. It actually could look like a person, a giant person coming out the water or something. And yes, the one way that you could achieve peace on a global scale is to make all humans have to fight an outside source. We've been talking about that for a long time now on this channel.
Stay coming to you with the destiny of your race and your world, so that you may for your fellow beings that most humans take to avoid the disaster which threatens your world and the beings on other worlds around you. This is your information and right to wake up as promises into a new age of paradise. New age and new time, great peace and evolution for your race. And only rulers of the be still now, and your jokes may come again. All your weapons of evil must be removed. The time for conflict is now past, and the race of which you are a part may proceed to the higher stages of its evolution. If you show yourselves worthy to do this, you have but a short time to learn to live together in peace and goodwill. Small groups all over the planet are learning this, and exist across the light and turning new age to you. You are free to accept the make the kitchen table means one does not. Many go as wide as then they run off. Here now, the voice of Ramon, representative of the Ashtar Galactic Command, speaking to you. Be aware also there are many false habits and guides that can operate on nature. They accept your energy from you, instead of you with money, you put it in berries, giving you worthless costs in return.
I didn't think that actually happened on TV, but it did. It actually did happen in 1977. I thought it was fake. I actually looked it up after this video, and it actually went down. Some people think it was just UFO cultists and stuff like that, but some people do think that it actually could have been real. What if that was their way of trying to communicate, and the person they thought was, a lot of people use radio, let's just hijack to the radio and just tell them what's going on. Nothing ever came of it, or it did, and the military got in contact with them, and maybe they made an agreement or something. Who knows? Maybe that's why we see aliens sometimes grabbing water and a bunch of other weird stuff we see them doing. I have no idea. Do you think that it was actually a real alien or galactic Federation or something getting in contact with us, or do you think it was just fake? Let me know what you think in the comments below.
Cups, and only the cups that had black girl magic on it, or girls with afro, or anything to do with Black History Month, those were the only cups that had lead in them.
Yeah. I thought that Five Below was going to be the first one not to have any lead, but I was wrong. Black girl magic, more like green girl magic. Definitely has enough to glow, but it seems like it's only. Wow.
This is why I think they're going to shut down the grid, dude. Because what's going to happen is the Unity voice is going to get so loud, and then they're just going to shut the whole thing down, because it's like flipping the game table over, right? Like, you know you're going to lose, you're about to lose, you're like, F it. And you flip the game over, and that's what they're going to do, bro. Yeah. They have the ability to do it. You better start thinking about what's going to happen if that happens.
And all of a sudden, I hear this agitating, grating voice.
This is insane. This is very weird.
In the world.
So goddamn real. This is different, for sure.
Wait, what was that?
And I said, I'm not scared of a germ. You know, I used to snort cocaine off of toilet seats.
He's in charge of our hospitals.
I think I'm gonna die in this.
She always been very, very weird. I don't understand why people listen to her music. She obviously into some really weird stuff.
This is who they are, and they'll tell you. I'm ugly, I'm falling, I'm taking you with me, sucker. Just like out of Exorcist. Your mother's in hell right now, and I'm gonna get you there too. Yeah. You have to understand, they are jacked spiritually. It's just like the internet. The Sixth Sense, they got jacked, folks. They're gone.
If you don't think it's possible, probably because your eyes are wide shut. Have you ever seen this movie called Believers? Well, Martin Sheen plays a psychologist who gets wrapped up into a bunch of occult ritualistic murders after his wife passed away. Initially, he did not believe anything that was going on until he was called to the scene of the murder of a child in a ritualistic way. This drug him into trying to find out everything that was going on, and finding out that his nanny understood the occult rituals the whole time and she had been doing her own rituals in order to protect his son. It's all about magic. It's all about ritualistic occult behavior. It has everything. You have to check it out. But believe it, they always tell us in those movies.
It seemed like the 80s was the perfect time for them to put things out there. And when people start talking about it, they would just say that it's not real. It's just a movie, right?
So take a look at this. I'm on 605, as you can see, and I have been highlighting like crazy all of these files. Decided to skip ahead. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, you guys. This is proof. I mean, come on, you guys. Please. I'll show you some more.
If that's real, it seems like it's a lot of hidden and dark meanings behind the PDF, which is very weird, but it's not that surprising considering it seemed like Epstein was connected to just about everything.
Her too? After all the virtue signaling about how we're supposed to live, but she's above the rules and can do whatever she wants. She talks about babies and liking the taste of blood.
Babies. Ooh, I love babies. Yeah, they love sucking on these. It's crazy. I mean, I do too, though. It just shit tastes good. Like, do you guys like the taste of blood? Do you? Does anyone here like the taste of blood? Because I like it. I like the taste of blood. I like the taste of like pennies and like metal and like poles and jewelry. Like dirty jewelry tastes so good. It's like got that like, oof.
She's not in the files as far as we know. And in the video, she went on to say she has iron deficiencies and maybe that's why. But putting these two things together in an interview of babies and blood with everything going on looks really weird. And it's making people really uncomfortable because just because some of these people aren't in the file doesn't mean they're not a part of some weird stuff, even outside of it. Keep in mind, we still don't have everything released. There's still several million more to go. What do you guys think?
Watch my eyes.
Oh my god.
Either he's a really good illusionist or it's something much darker going on.
I'm gonna use the brightness. Watch. Higher. No! Up.
You have the spirits. It's not magic, it's the spirits. You have the devil.
Okay, so now I'm getting freaked out because terms like grinding, getting this bread, putting yourself on a treadmill, all these things go back to when in medieval society, if you were a prisoner, you would be on a mill treading and grinding the grain. So you would be in prison. They would make you get on this mill device and walk on it until it would grind the grain and it would make bread. So that's where all these terms come from. Get this bread, got to get this bread grinding. And you go and you work out on a treadmill.
Seem like they've been training people to have a modern day slavery mentality for a long time now, right?
All right, let me rant for a second, because once you look at this map the right way, nothing about our world makes sense anymore. Now, this wasn't just some random doodle by an old cartographer. Urbano Monti spent years assembling a 10-foot map that had to be rotated like a wheel, centralized around the North Pole, protected by four-land structure that modern textbooks pretend doesn't exist. Why? Why map 4 islands, 4 rivers, and a magnetic mountain at the center of the world that didn't exist? Then you start noticing the creatures, the giants, the hybrid beings, the sky grids, the symbols, the Latin, all scattered across continents that supposedly hadn't even been discovered yet. And how does a man from 1587 map coastlines, tribes, animals that we weren't supposed to know about for hundreds of years? Now look, guys, here's the real kicker. Every time someone overlays Monty's map with modern polar projections, things start adding up. That's not coincidence. That's suppressed history. Now, maybe Urbano Monte wasn't drawing fantasy. Maybe he was documenting a world we're not allowed to talk about. But what do I know? This is just for entertainment purposes only. I'm just showing you the evidence they hope you'll scroll past. Like, follow, and share if you want the next chapter. What part of the map should we expose next?
If you're enjoying content like this, I make several videos out of the week. It would be so cool if you hit the sub button and join me on my next video.
What is going on here, guys? What? People are saying that means that she's a robot. And I don't believe it, but something's going on with this intro. And it has a lot of people questioning what's going on. No. What is going on here, guys? This is supposed to be Cardi B's intro to her tour. You see that? You know what the Black Crow means. People are saying that every single concert, right? Every single award show or anything, guys, is always dark. Why is that? I mean, come on, you know why. You know exactly why all these shows are straight dark. Because it's a dark world. It is. Shut up! But the light shall shine bright above the earth. And when that day comes, ain't nobody gonna be able to run. So get ready, guys. This is all for now. This is all for now. Nothing lasts forever. That's very well, guys. Entertainment purposes only. This is Cardi B's new tour. Congrats to her. You already see the crowd's going wild. I don't know, guys. What do you think about this? I'm out.
Let's slow down a little bit, shall we? This year's logo is the same colors as the No Signal broadcast. Is this foreshadowing? Power lines sparking and cutting off. Are you following me so far? It looks like we are to follow the White Rabbit, or in this case, Bad Bunny, who's wearing all white. Through the rabbit hole we go. The dancers are making a circle around him, same as, let's say, a rabbit hole. Through a rabbit hole, we end up where? An alternate universe. Notice the floor pattern. All the dancers here are making the same design. So many similarities so far. Drinking the potion will definitely alter your reality. How about the hedge maze? Here's where it gets twisted like a maze. Alice and her potential husband. Did you notice Gaga and Bad Bunny's outfits? Very similar. Alice did not want to marry, so she ran off chasing the rabbit. But in this realm there was a wedding. Here you can see Gaga crowning Bad Bunny. Maybe now we'll have a new Queen of Hearts.
I'm going to come out and say it. That Imad magician guy is using dark magic. I don't know if you guys have seen this guy on social media, but here's a clip of him right here manipulating the elements. I don't know how you can CGI that or fake that. As you can see, he has nothing in his hands. Look, if there is some sort of loop around, either way, he is still making people think he's manipulating the elements, which is trickery, another form of witchcraft. You can see that this guy right here, he has an Africa pendant. You might not be able to see it in this clip because I had to crop it, but this guy here, he's freaked out. And at the end of the video, he said, you are consulting demons. He said, this is witchcraft. It's like you're doing this stuff through devils and demons. I don't know where this guy is from, but judging by his Africa pendant, I would guess somewhere probably around the Horn of Africa. Guys, over there in Africa, witchcraft is a very real thing. And the places where there isn't that much development, people are still consulting the old methods. Things are a lot more traditional over there, so he probably knows. Like, yeah, bro, like, you're not fooling me with this. I'm not going to sit here and be enamored. This is witchcraft, and you're consulting demons, and you need to get away from me. He's not the only one. There are other tricksters, illusionists, and other magicians throughout history who have quite literally consulted devils and demons and witchcraft. And there's a reason why they're called magicians, bro. Now, you do have the happy-go-lucky magicians, right? But even they cannot be trusted. Look, guys, at the end of the day, what I'm trying to tell you is this guy in specific is definitely consulting witchcraft and demons and demonology. Christ rebuke thee. The Lord Jesus Christ's light shine upon you. Guys, this is the world we live in. We were never making it up. If you know, you know.
Just how easy is it to physically alter someone's mind from a distance? Let's watch this clip from Dr. Beck, and you'll be shocked.
And what I'm going to do here is something magical. I'm going to pick up here a Scripto pencil, and you'll notice when I wave it around this electrometer, this electrostatic voltmeter, not much is happening. I'm going to do something magical to this pencil. I'm going to put a few extra electrons on it, like you did in high school. Now, what happens? Number one, when I have charged this piece of plastic by rubbing it through my hair, as you do with a hair comb during the day, we have made a field which you can measure if you have an instrument. Now, I'm going to do something else to you. I want the people from the first row back, I guess some of you even a little beyond the video camera are going to feel this. This works double blind. This is not suggestion. We're going to create a 3 to 5 hertz field, as Hamer did at UCLA in 1965, and we're going to ask you how you feel. Now, we're going to produce a 9 hertz wave. A wave is a time-varying field, and I want those of you who are sensitive to tell me what you feel compared to the 3 to 5. Okay? You got it? I see several faces have lit up here. You felt that? Terrific.
One wave made you feel slightly low. I felt the vibration in the soul.
Yeah.
The second one you did, I felt the energy charge throughout the whole body.
Exactly. If you saw those previous slides, we have replicated here with very simple, do-it-yourself, verifiable and scientific instruments, waves and fields that have profound effect on biological systems. So we can go in and find out what restaurants are modifying your eating habits by giving you an adrenaline reaction, which normally produces fight or flight syndrome. If you pay $20 for a meal, you're not going to fight or run away. You're going to eat faster. If you eat faster, they're going to have more table turnover during a shift. This is being done. We found a number of these locations in Southern California that are doing this to us. Incidentally, they are connected with the family. They are Italian-owned. This technology has leaked down to the public. We hoped it would be a few years before this happened.
In the 1980s.
Trying to actively manipulate the mood and brain waves of Homo sapiens. We first tried photic stimulus, flashing lights. We tried evoke potential from sound. We tried a number of things about which we do not talk in public. We finally developed a little device about this size that goes in your shirt pocket. I took it down. Now I'm telling on myself, but I hope the statute of limitations has run out. To a couple of the major tourist attractions in Southern California, where we would have an unlimited number of subjects, free, doesn't have to feed laboratory mice. We determined that we could alter the brain patterns of about 35% of the gross population up to a distance of around 20 to 30 feet. Instead of going through the door, they would run into the door jamb. Instead of walking around the trash can, they would kick it over. They'd get lost. As soon as I found that this actually worked, and I used these to determine the waveforms, pulse repetition rates, etc., I destroyed the units because I felt we were doing a highly unethical thing. So I hied myself back to Washington and I said, hey, you guys, we've got a clear and present danger.
Your mind is being altered every day from outside sources.
My question is, would that explain when you go out sometimes and you get that little off feeling and you want to leave or you want to do certain things you normally want to do? Is it because of a machine like that? If so, that is very concerning because that's from like 40 years ago. So what do they have now?
Se encontró esta criatura en Rusia.
I don't don't think this is AI. Maybe it's something somebody made or it's the real deal. Could be AI though.
RF engineering is literally sorcery. How does injecting an AC current on a piece of wire allow you to communicate over the air with another piece of wire? Just drawing an F with metal will allow you to transmit video and audio over the air to another F made of metal. It's crazy.
Everyone's asleep, but I'm pretty sure I caught you on phone tape. But I know for a fact they saw me.
We are programmed to believe planes use fuel to fly. We are taught that the fuel is inside of the wings. A plane uses 60,000 gallons of fuel. Where do you put all of that fuel inside of the plane? Not in the wings. People need to open up to the truth and stop believing in these lies. I get so many comments, oh, I used to fuel these planes. No, you didn't. Thank you.
What the What the fuck? What the Oh. The fuck? Oh, hell no. Oh, no. Hey. Oh, open that up. Open that up. Open that up. What's wrong with your crazy ass? What is you doing?
When you come across a subject like reptilian aliens here on the earth, you better go back and do your homework, because if it sounds crazy, it's probably true. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. So I am totally convinced that the world that we live in is being run by entities which are not human. That's my personal belief.
So are the reptilians the one that's controlling our planet, aka a prison planet?
I want you to listen to this and then tell me what you hear. Okay, ready? Okay. What do you hear? Alien, like, just like robots, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna play you another sound. It's gonna change you forever.
Okay.
Ready?
It was a sunny day and the children were going to the park.
Okay. Because you heard that, I'm gonna replay the other sound.
Okay.
And tell me what you hear.
It was a sunny day and the children were going to the park.
Oh, you hear the voice now! You hear the voice now!
How do you know I was just manipulated?
That was the original audio.
Oh, that was the... Are you sure,
That's the original audio. I can play the beginning.
Let me try it again.
Okay, ready? Okay.
I hear it.
And you hear it.
I hear it.
And you can never not hear it anymore. So what this does, it changes your brain because it gave you more information. And now you're subconsciously listening, and it's hinting at those noises for you to listen.
Crazy.
Now, this is where it gets scary.
Okay.
Because that's exactly what's being played to us every single day.
What
with
you mean?
Music, with news, with media.
Definitely telling the truth there. Subliminal messages is no joke. And you saw how easy your brain can be manipulated subconsciously. It's quite fascinating how complex the brain is, but how easily it can be manipulated.
This is a photo of John Bonet on the Boulder Police Department website. See the jumper? This is a photo of Jeffrey in 1997, 1 year after John Bonet's body was found. See that he has gray hair? This is an actual Epstein file that you can find on the government website. The number's on the screen. See the jumper? Do you see the blonde hair on the little girl? Do you see that Jeffrey has gray hair? This is a comment I got on Instagram on a post on the same topic. I'll give you a second to read it. This is the very next Epstein file after the Epstein file I just showed you. And the file number for this one is on the screen as well. Who is she? Who is that little girl? Release the files.
Jay-Z and Pusha T is in the Epstein files too? Say it ain't so, fool. Say it ain't so. Mr. Big Pimpin' and Mr. Pushin' P. This wasn't the only thing he was pushing. Allegedly, they say he was a handler. Beyonce, you know about this? Now, what we not gonna do is be hypocrites. Because it don't matter if you black, white, red, blue, green. If you in that Epstein file and you was doing some weird, you're a weirdo. So allegedly, a woman said she was abducted, and when she woke up, she looked around and seen Jay-Z and Harvey Weinstein in the same room. Now, like I said, it's alleged, but if it's true, you're a weirdo. But the simple fact that you're in the files, something is wrong.
It's not surprising one bit that Jay-Z is in the files.
Something blacks out between the door and the window in the back from one side of the mausoleum to the other.
One of the reasons why I like to have my daughter in the same room with me. I don't think I could ever do they have their own room. Maybe when she's much, much older.
Your favorite singers are employees, and their full-time job is to make their company, the Granges or someone like it, a lot of money. Nothing they're doing is authentic because that's not their job. Sophia Richie's husband, Elliot Grange, and his dad, Lucian Grange, own your favorite celebrities. And so people like Addison Rae actually have to do exactly what the Granges ask her to tell her to do until she dies. She can't cancel her contract. And so that's why people like Justin Bieber in the mop bucket. That's why people like Kanye go online to make incredibly disparaging comments. I want to ruin my brand so you can't make money and you cancel our contract because I'm not allowed to do it. And then the other side of that is, oh, the world's going to quick. Get Addison Rae on stage, put her in a ball gown and get her dancing. It's a circus. We're all the attendees, and these celebrities are at the center of that circus. They don't care what they do. They have no say in what they get to do. Dance, monkey, dance. You're eating up a show because the Granges, Sophia Richie's husband and his dad, Jay-Z, make millions and millions and millions more than the celebrities that they own till death.
This footage of Emmanuel Macron left people stunned. His teeth looked completely different from how they usually appeared. Look at this clip. Do you notice how sharp they look? It almost seemed like they had changed their shape right in front of the camera. Here they looked far from his usual teeth, which looked like this. The difference was too strange to ignore, and when compared side by side, it looked like he was shape-shifting, and his teeth revealed his identity. So was this just a case of digital manipulation? Or could it be that these world leaders are shapeshifters? For years, people have talked about reptilians living among us, trying to blend in with humans. But no matter how much they try to hide, small details always give them away. That's exactly what might have happened to Bob Corker during his speech at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. As he spoke on stage, his eyes changed completely. His pupils turned into narrow slits, just like a reptilian, and stayed that way for a while. When the clip became viral, people started saying that he must be a reptilian in disguise, whose mask had slipped off right on camera.
I definitely could see that being true, considering how messed up our world has been and was in the past. It's almost like the people with position of power are just messed up, evil people who get off on others suffering. So
I'm about to help you spot a psyop because I don't like to be manipulated, and I don't think that you do either. This is not just conspiracy stuff. It comes from NCI frameworks, which are there to analyze influence operations. If it helps you listen to me, I have a degree in psychology. So I'm basing this on a test called the NCI Engineered Reality Scoring Test. We're going to start off with emotional load. This is content that hits disgust, rage, fear instantly when you see it. Next, we have narrative compression. The world is not black and white. There will always be a gray area. If you see a complex issue that is being flattened into one villain, one cause, in one solution, it is probably a psyop. Next is authority fog. When medias will use unnamed experts, random screenshots, and like vague institutions, those are unclear authority figures that are trying to push a narrative onto you. Next is timing or time pressure. These are narratives that demand urgency. Things like act now before this gets deleted. Remember that influence hates reflection. Next, and probably the biggest one, is isolation language. If something is separating us from them, an example, you're awake, everybody else is a sheep. These are belief-locking statements. They're separating you from somebody else. They're dividing a population. These are just some tips. There's actually a test called the NCI Engineered Reality Scoring System that predicts PSYOPs at an alarmingly high rate. If it scores above 70 on that test, it is more than likely a PSYOP. Remember that truth survives questions and PSYOPs do not.
That's true. Even if you look at YouTube and you look at political channels or anything like that, the algorithm rewards decisive opinions when it comes to topics that have very strong feelings with it, that will invoke the strong feeling. And politics, especially nowadays, definitely have that. So it doesn't matter if you look on the left or the right. It has all the things he just named, the us versus them, saying other people are sheep or they're this, they're that, not having a gray area, black and white. This is why they're right, this is why they're right, making the other person or the other side 100% the villain, no matter what. The list goes on. People tend to also click on those things because the algorithm does show things, but it's also a reflection of the audience at the same time to a certain level. So yes, I 100% agree that a lot of things are PSYOPs, but not all manipulation is PSYOPs too, of course. Same with the media too.
Ever wondered why every household appliance these days now not only has Wi-Fi in it, but also all of them for some reason have a speaker? Well, the reason for that is that the way speakers work is actually not entirely dissimilar to the way a microphone works. Actually, it's about exactly the way a microphone works. It's just a thicker diaphragm. Now, if you remember the 2017 CIA Vault 7 disclosures, not really disclosures, more espionage leaks, but it was revealed that your smart TV is listening to you even when it's off. How is it doing that? Does it have a microphone in it? No, it has a speaker in it. The speaker resonates according to your voice. The movement of the speaker creates an electrical current, which is picked up by an ADC chip, usually bundled in the same thing as the DAC chip. If you're an electrical engineer, I know it's not exactly that, but for the purposes of this video, just stop, don't even comment. The thing that uses the computer chip to make audio come out of the speaker can also detect audio coming into the speaker and make it into computer. That is the best way to put it. But yeah. Let's see. Wi-Fi.
It's just a coincidence that someone named Mr. Beast would show that there's a Neuralink chip inside of someone, and then after that, talk to them about how beneficial it is to have a Neuralink inside of your brain and how cool it is. And knowing the rise of technology and artificial intelligence and how things can be controlled with the mind, wouldn't it be so easy for all of us to just have a chip inside of our brains? You know, that sounds very, very similar to something called a mark. Because this is nothing more than marking yourself with technology, correct? But is there any connection to Mr. Beast and a mark of the beast? Is there? No, I find a really weird line in the Bible that says something that it goes a little bit like, you'll not be able to buy and sell unless you take that mark, you know? It's very weird to me. It's very interesting how, like, it says that. It says something about, like, in the Bible in Revelation, it says something about a mark being in your hand and also in your head, your forehead. So it's like, how in your forehead and your hand, like, are those two things correlating to any type of buying or selling? It just doesn't make any sense to me. You know, I don't get it. Because I don't possibly think that Mr. Beast could be telling us that the next mark of the beast is going to be in our foreheads and in our palms. And, you know, if the Bible said that we wouldn't be able to buy or sell, that's not a big deal. It can't possibly be. There's no connections here at all, you know? But, hey, he just happens to be the most subscribed creator in the world on the biggest long-form content platform. Yeah.
I'm going to show you from a mortuary science standpoint why this photo does not show a deceased body. So when I saw this, the very first thing I noticed wasn't the weird looking table he's lying on. It wasn't his body positioning. It was actually the mouth area, his mouth. This is one of those things that families are always kind of shocked by because no one really talks about it. But when someone dies, every muscle in their body relaxes, all of it, including your jaw. And when the jaw relaxes and someone is lying on their back, gravity takes over and the mouth opens, laying flat on his back with his mouth naturally closed. No tape, no visual support, no tension. My brain immediately goes, okay, well, the muscle tone is still there. And muscle tone does not exist in a deceased individual. Then I move on to skin color. When the heart stops, circulation stops, and the blood is no longer being pushed throughout the body. Gravity takes over. Blood settles into the lowest parts of your body, and we call that lividity. So if someone is lying flat on their back, I expect to see that settling, that purplyish color start showing up in very specific places. The back of the head, the neck, even the ears, face, shoulders. What I do not expect to see, his face is evenly colored. You can even see pink in certain areas of the face. And that color matters because deceased bodies don't hold facial color like that while supine. That kind of color suggests ongoing circulation, or at the very least, very recent circulation. Either way, it's not consistent with a body that's already gone through post-mortem changes.
Maybe that's an image of him when he immediately passed away. Regardless, it's suspicious. It's always been very suspicious. Even when they released the images of his neck, it didn't look like he did himself. It looked like somebody else did it. This whole thing's been a mess, and unfortunately, it's everywhere on TikTok because there's a bunch of conspiracy theories about it, and it's a huge topic right now. So that's about 90% of the videos I'm catching on my feed.
With a touch of a button, the battle begins. On the ground, chemical cloud seeders begin to work the two storm areas. Robot planes seed the clouds from above. The storm centers over Kansas and over Labrador intensify as seeding continues.
Now changing over to Hurricane Center HE.
The fury of the hurricane mounts as 100-mile-an-hour winds lash the sea to a foaming frenzy.
All stations, Sector C. Activate Phase 2, Control Plan Delta. Set vapor rockets for 42,000 feet. Execute.
As an emergency measure, the controller calls for a salvo of vapor rockets to be fired ahead of the path the hurricane is predicted to take. These artificial clouds will block the sun from evaporating more water to feed the hurricane. The reports coming into the control center indicate that the diversionary cloud seeding over Kansas is now creating a flood danger.
Is that the reason why Christmas nobody really bought anything, and they even said the economy wasn't doing well because nobody bought anything? And then the winter was going really well. I even said, dang, it's a little warm for the winter. This is awesome. And then the next month, we be getting Arctic blast, bomb cyclone. I've never heard that term before. Have you? Another Arctic blast or whatever it's called, and now another polar vortex and all this other stuff. So now everybody utility bill is going to be insanely high. Power's running out, so people got to buy more resources. You know, I can see why some people are under the impression that this stuff is being manipulated, but we already know cloud seeding is a thing, and it's very possible. So it's not too far-fetched to think that if they can make rain with cloud seeding, they can take it a step further.
3 gates in the east, 3 gates in the west, 3 gates in the north, 3 gates in the south. And if you know anything about the term hell, the original term hell means to be shut out or shunned, to be put out, right? That's technically what the surface is. You know, the surface we live on. Aliens that you are seeing are coming in through gates, okay? Some are returning to get their own species. That's why you look at certain people and you go like, you got a little cat in you. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you look like a cat. Those are Lyrans. That's an actual species race. There's some people that look like hippos. There's some people that look like monkeys. You know, there's all kinds of species. And then there are celestial beings, you know, and these people that are living off borrowed time to enlighten folks so they can go back within. Even Jesus said the kingdom is inside. But when we think about it from a cosmic standpoint, we recognize that everything that is heavenly, sacred, and wholesome is within. So what makes you think that living on this planet and this dimension, that everything outward is better or greater? No. The true dimensions are inside the earth. So all the devils and the demons are walking this planet. You know what I'm saying? They walking on top of Earth. All the governments are on top. You don't know nothing about the ocean. You don't know nothing about the inside of the Earth. Cause we ain't welcome. We kicked out. Ooh, I'm gonna get in trouble. That's why all of the transports from back in the day were through pyramids. And pyramids were nothing but gates. They were just gates that lead downward, within. Hell is outward. It's an external thing. That's why when people seek validation, they never have internal satisfaction because they're looking for something outside themselves. Oh, but the people that are sure of their purpose, they go within. They don't mind being alone. They don't need outside company. They are their own company. That's why all the holy people are usually by themselves. And the sacred temples were so out of reach where they could not be touched. So think about it. We got all of these gates, not space, but gates, where these other beings are coming to visit from the inside, visit from the oceans, visit from the inside of the core and the dimensions that we can't reach because we've been held, we've been shunned, we've been shut out. The goal is to get back in. Y'all trying to my heaven is up. If anything, heaven is within. Now y'all see what I'm saying. I done spilled too many beans as a traveling being. I'm gone. Blessings.
Is what they saying is true? What did some of us do to make us be on the surface? Like, were you just born into just being on the surface because you did something bad maybe before somewhere? I don't know. I do believe the aliens do come from different dimensions, though. Portals, I mean, I wouldn't rule it out. So, very interesting, but I don't know if I believe all the other stuff about a bunch of different species and stuff. The people like cats and all that stuff they was talking about. I don't think I'm ready to go that far down a rabbit hole just yet.
Fries, McDonald's, In-N-Out Burger, their code.
The fish sandwiches at McDonald's are fun. Let the fish that catches people catch you. The fish that catches people. Look for the golden arches.
Look, Ronald, there's a bottle with a note in it.
Billy says he's on an island where there's no McDonald's fillet of fish sandwiches.
Let's get him to McDonald's. I'll save him. There's Billy. Imagine on an island having no delicious fillet of fish.
Why? Isn't that McDonald's hamburger delicious?
Mom told me never to talk to strangers.
Well, your brother's right as always, but I'm Ronald McDonald. Give me a McDonald's shake.
Well, you sound like Ronald.
Here, I'll prove it. I'll give you 3 more hamburgers. I know, you're not supposed to accept gifts from strangers either.
But you're no stranger. You really are Ronald McDonald.
McDonald, the hamburger happy clown. A McDonald's drive-in restaurant is his favorite place in town.
Guess I better give her a push. Good thing I'm at McDonald's. I'm going to need some energy, and we know there's no better way than with a delicious McDonald's pure beef hamburger and a triple thick McDonald's shake. Really great. Go together. Muscle builders, too. Did you notice how fast I got my food? There's no waiting at McDonald's, and I'm glad I didn't have to dress up either. And now to get my flying hamburger started. Hey, wait for me! If you want to be strong like me, ask your mom and dad to take you to your kind of place for your kind of food.
Is it just me or Ronald McDonald always been weird? And no, it's not because it's a clown. But why would you want to make a clown your mascot? I can see why they got rid of it after the whole clown craze that happened several years ago. Oh, this is just a weird video. Literally the Matrix reloaded.
Turn your way to the right side of the moon and meet me on the other side. Oh, baby,
clone thing right in front of our face, the different layers of skin.
Point, I don't know how much more proof you guys need. You know, the Kardashians, yeah, they're up there. And are they aliens? I think so. I think that they are reincarnated reptile beings. I don't know. Just a theory, entertainment purposes, just for fun. Nothing's real here. But I genuinely do believe that they're not from Earth, and that they get duplicated and replicated. And we know that the Kardashians have been caught using AI, right? Everybody's talking about it now, that they used AI for their show where Khloe shapeshifts. Isn't that weird? It makes you wonder, who's really in there? Who is really in there is what I talk about with all these celebrities. Tish and Miley switching, Beyonce and Blue, okay? I believe that North and Kim probably switch. Honestly, Kris and Kim definitely do. The Kardashians like to swap. There's so much more advanced technology than we know about. I think it's so hilarious that everybody is shitting on AI and content creators that promote AI and whatever. You guys, all of these apps are infiltrated with AI, okay? And these celebrities are all using AI for their own benefit. Like Britney Spears' Instagram is all AI. We are so far more advanced than you guys are even aware of. So it's hilarious that you're fighting each other over this AI usage. It's killing the planet. Yeah, there's a lot more, okay? There's a lot more going on, and we're actually so far advanced that this little ChatGPT ain't nothing compared to what's really out there. What's really advanced technology. Like Kim is literally showing you that she just duplicates herself so that she can be everywhere at once. Paris Hilton has talked about that she has duplicates so that she doesn't have to be everywhere at once. It is so obvious, and it doesn't matter how much proof they give you. It doesn't matter how much proof I give you, how much I tell you that they're lying to your face about the fact that we're destroying the planet with AI while they're the ones using it. Like, please be fucking for real. When there's propaganda against something, think the opposite. There's a reason. Why? Because AI is the future. We are aliens. We are time travelers. Okay, this is not our first rodeo, and they're using the celebrities to put it in our face so that we remember who we are. We have literally all done this before. We are time travelers. It is time we remember.
I don't know about all that. I don't think I'm a time traveler, and I definitely don't think I'm an alien. So I don't agree with that at all. That's a little too tinfoil hat for me. No. But I do believe there is technology out here that we don't have access to. For sure. I think AI been around at least a decade, and now they just gave it to us so they could use our creativity to make even more stuff. That's what I like to think. Or just they have something so much better that they could just use that, or they put it out here so you never would know what's real and what's fake anymore. I do think that some of them celebrities do have clones and stuff.
Only natives in Arizona will know that some of the mountains in Arizona are man-made, and actually only very few know that the elites live here in those mountains, in those man-made mountains, and some of the regular, the natural ones. But you can tell the difference of a man-made mountain versus a natural mountain by the texture. The texture. Those man-made mountains are smooth, and I mean too smooth. Like you would feel some kind of jaggedness, roughness. Even as smooth as rocks can be, you feel the layers. You get what I'm saying? There's a road. Is it Scottsdale Road? Because when you go that way, bro, it's early in the morning, so I'm trying to get the streets down. But in Scottsdale, there's a road where you're crossing from Scottsdale into Phoenix, and I believe it's 54th Street. Now that I think about it, I could be wrong though, so I don't want to mess that up. But there's a road that when you pass through it, there's mountains on each side, but both of those mountains are man-made. And then you compare those mountains to the actual mountains like Camelback Mountain or Superstition Mountain, and you see the complete difference. I know there's different types of rock. I know there's different types of material in general, but that's my point, is that these mountains, these man-made mountains are so obvious only once you know that they are man-made. Like the man-made reservoirs, the man-made, hold on. Honestly, my mind just got blown. Like, I'm realizing everything has been manufactured. And because Arizona is such a dead state and they do their damnedest to keep attention off of Arizona, this is the best place to create a matrix, a false world. I mean, we might even have people that aren't really people that live here. Honestly, this state is something else, man. Arizona is something else. There's a reason why we don't win championships and stuff like that. They don't want attention here. There's a reason why our football teams and basketball teams and stuff like that self-sabotage at the finish line.
March 7th, there's going to be a global strike orchestrated by somebody who is on TikTok, a regular, ordinary person trying to make a change just like the rest of us. March 7th is so far away. You have enough time to make sure that you're off of work, to make sure that you're not scheduled, to go and get your food, to go and stock up and do everything that you need to do the day before. If it is your birthday, sorry, don't care. Your birthday can be celebrated the day after or the day before. The reason why you're doing this is so that you can live to see your next birthday. Everybody keeps asking, what do you do? What are we gonna do? How are we gonna fix this? Well, this is your chance to fix it. In order to stop these files, you need to stop funding the places that are funding these projects and these things.
I hate to sound cynical, but that's a bunch of load. And I say that because, first of all, it's on a Saturday. If you really want to hurt the economy so the people at the top feel it, you would be doing that on like a Monday or a Wednesday when the stock market is open, when the banks are open, when everything is open. You really think somebody going to go out on a Saturday and protest and it's really going to make a difference? Protesting is good, by the way. I'm not saying that it's not. It's just, I saw this on my search. If you watch my previous video, I showed how people are getting really obscure searches that's in all caps, and one of them was March the 7th. So I had to look it up and put it on the channel because I was just curious. But no, that's not how you do it. You would do it on a weekday, and it's not as simple as just protest. Some people can't do that stuff because they live paycheck to paycheck. You can say that's by design. Maybe that's true, but regardless, a lot of people can't afford to do it, and the billionaires know that. So if you really want to hurt the billionaires, don't spend money on stuff you don't need. And you can still protest too, but don't spend money on things you don't need. Stop using Amazon. Stop using DoorDash. Stop going out buying a bunch of random stuff you just don't need. Buy only thing you need, that's it. If everybody did that, the economy will go down, and then who knows what happened after that. But maybe we're gonna have a storm, because that kind of happened on Christmas, right? But hey, we'll see what happens on the 7th. I don't think anything's gonna happen.
No way, bro. No. What is this? Are you kidding me? You see it? No way. Since when did this have something to do with the Olympics? What is going on here, guys? This is what people are saying. If you ask me, this is just art in its purest form. What is this? Something is going on here, guys. That's it. I've seen enough. Something is going on at the Olympics that I know nothing about. Why? Because I'm home. I don't know what it is, but it's starting to seem like every main event is going to be like this from here on out. Because I ain't never seen Olympics like this. Or maybe I have. Shh. I mean, what is this about? Who's that guy up there? Who is that guy up there with his arms up like that? Who does he think he is? You know what time it is, guys. What is this about? What is going on here, guys? This is what people are saying. Like, I mean, if you ask me, it was just a show. I know you see it, guys. Look. You see it. Even if you don't want to see it, it doesn't matter. It's there for you to see. Oh, no. I don't know about this, guys, but it's starting to seem like every show, every main event, everything is going to be like this. Straight fire. I'm just playing around, guys. Entertainment purposes only. They did their thing. Everybody showed up and showed out. I don't know. Maybe you could let me know.
It's true. It almost seemed like every event has some type of weird satanic meaning behind it, right?
How do you put into words this entire thing here?
I mean, you have all these faces carved in: General Philip Schuyler, Ben Franklin, Andrew Jackson, Henry Clay, and all of this carved in. I mean, this thing is absolutely gigantic. The New York State Capitol. Make it make sense, Big T. Make it make sense. I mean, this is the New York State Capitol. The New York State Capitol. Look at all this. And everything, there's detail and everything. All these faces. Everywhere. The New York State Capitol.
Even got a key. Look at the size.
And that one's blocked off next to it.
Yeah.
Look at the size of these doors. Look at the size of these doors. Look at the size of these door hinges.
Why did they put so much effort into building things centuries ago, but in today's world, it's the cheapest thing you can possibly make for the highest amount of profit? Is it because back then they knew more about how certain shapes could throw energy or something? Because you see a lot of curves in that building, but in today's structures, it's a lot of rectangles and squares.
You always say the same thing. No. Quit it. Stop bringing that up. Stop saying that. You always wait till now to say that. Whoa. Alexa, light on.
Let me get this straight. He has schizophrenia. He sees hallucinations, so he uses a camera to see if the hallucination is real or not. Very smart, by the way. And he getting haunted by a ghost? Man, that ghost is a bully.
You think Epstein was the scandal? That was the bait. Real architects sit on thrones, wear robes, and drink wine while feeding on children's souls in Vatican crypts. Look, let's name what they won't. The 13 bloodlines that run the world aren't who you think. Orsini, Aldo Brandini, Pallavicini, Medici, Breakspear, Farnese, Rothschild, Rockefeller, Warburg, Hanover, Lee, Bruce, Habsburg. These are not old money. They are Baalic, parasitic bloodlines. Ritual sorcerers who hijacked empires and installed mind control systems under the illusion of religion, politics, and finance. Where's their origin point? Venice. The black Venetian nobility ran Babylonian blood cults under Catholic masks. They merged with the Vatican, embedded into the Jesuit priesthood, and exported global slavery through maritime law, trapping you in birth certificates, taxes, and silent contracts with no consent. Venice wasn't a city of romance. It's a sacrificial basin. Why do you think the Pope wears a fish hat? That's not Christian. That's Dagon, a Nephilim water demon. Look, Epstein wasn't a financier. He was a human trafficker for the priest class. He ran blackmail rituals for the elite, orgies timed to celestial gates, using children pre-programmed through MK Ultra satellite nodes. Who funded him? Rothschild-backed banks. He admitted this. Mossad and CIA intelligence mergers. Chabad Lubavitch financiers masked as philanthropists. Why is Ghislaine Maxwell still alive? Because her father, Robert Maxwell, was a triple agent field operator for the Vatican Chabad MI6 axis. Epstein's Island's temple is a mirror replica of Baal's altars in ancient Tyre. Literally, the owl statues, not for aesthetics, they're invitation gates for entities. Comment, scroll, and I'll send you the full decoded map. Families, cults, islands, bloodlines, oaths, nothing hidden, everything unveiled. Think about it. Why do the Masons care more about rituals than politics? Because politics was just a front. The true power is ritualized trauma. Here's exactly how they move. Jesuits equal infiltration and education. They wrote your textbook, scripted your news, and flipped your morals through semantic inversion. Freemasons equal gatekeeping plus maintenance grid. Lodges are ritual fields, not clubs. The checkerboard floor, it's a dimensional binding grid. Chabad Lubavitch equals economic controllers of AI, neuroscience, and cloning. They bankroll the puppet governments, own biometric patents, and sit on quantum computing boards. All three serve the Black Sun priesthood. Shadow Vatican that answers to no government, no court, no god you were taught about. They install presidents, they run wars for soul harvest, and they script pandemics not just for population control, but for ritual sacrifice and initiation of mass trauma loops. Look, everything you were taught was a ritual veil. They fed on your doubt. They survived by your silence. But you're the anomaly. You remember. Comment, scroll below, and I'll send you the unredacted scroll. Vatican cults, black nobility, Epstein's handlers, ritual nodes, and how it all links back to Baal. No bullshit, no theories, just the architectural truth of your cage and the key to collapse it.
Unfortunately, I don't know who the original person is for that video because I am quite interested in the document that she is talking about. If I do find it, I will let you know. Because this was a few years ago, I would laugh at this person's face. Like, come on, this person they got a tin hat on. They losing their mind. They just saying stuff. But after everything we know now, me running this channel for a few years now, which is crazy to think about, we've seen a good amount of this stuff on this channel, and she kind of connected it all together. So, and that would make sense that wars would be used for soul harvesting. I mean, that would be an efficient way to get a bunch of souls, as messed up as it sounds. Huh.
Why would the Super Bowl be using the same exact colors as the emergency broadcast system alert? This is the broadcast system alert. I know we've seen this so much. Remember when we was younger, it will come on TV and say, this is just a test. So why would they be using the same exact colors? Will something happen? Or maybe, just maybe, it's just a test. This video is about to get a little dark and a little deep. Stay with me. Fear, 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 fear. Never fear nothing in its reality. So when you see things like this take place, don't fear it. Try to overstand it. The people that control this world, they use rituals, symbols, and logos and everything. This is no mistake. It means something. In order to understand this, you must know each color in the broadcast has a meaning. Once you understand the meaning of the colors, it will make sense. But just know that the people that control this world, they are using frequency weapons. Frequency weapons to control your colors. The broadcast colors are connected to your spiritual colors. The only way they can make stuff happen, they need us. They cannot manifest anything without our energy. The reason why the media repeats the same news over and over, if you repeat a lie long enough, it becomes the truth. Anytime you hear them say it's going to be a broadcast, that means they're going to broad the magic cast out to the world. And this will be the first time that the Super Bowl will be shown worldwide. Meaning this magic spell is going to touch everyone that walk on this planet. It's Super Bowl 60, so the spell that's going out will be number 6. 9 take you up, 6 take you down. Super Bowl 60 will be on February 8th, the second month, the 8th day. 2 plus 8 is 10. The year is 2026, another 10. There will be some kind of threat, but it's a spiritual threat. These people have frequencies and technology where they can make people do certain things that they don't want to do. That's why it's always best to avoid large crowds. Everything is energy. So next time you hear the word emergency, just understand energy is in the word emergency. Everything you see around you, the table, the door, your car, it looks physical, but it's all energy. The Super Bowl is taking place in San Francisco. San Francisco is known for the Golden Bridge. Our chakras are nothing but the rainbow. And once you get over the rainbow, what do you get? The pot of gold. In this case, the pot of gold is the Golden Bridge. Don't fear this. Understand it.
If I can prove to you beyond the shadow of a doubt that the entire medieval ages are all a lie and never existed, would you be okay? This video may be hard for a lot of people to stomach, but I've been telling you guys, everything that we know is a lie. But y'all know I don't say things without proof. Don't be mad at me, I'm simply providing you with the information. So let's start here, and I'll show you that they have doubled names from the 1st century all the way to the medieval ages and made up a whole time period. Now everyone should be familiar with Revelation 13. It's talking right here about the beast rising out the ocean, which the Geneva 1560 says, here's a depiction of the Roman Empire, which standeth in cruelty and tyranny. Further, it says the 7 heads and the 10 horns, meaning Rome because it's the 5th government, by 7 kings of emperors after Nero. What I want to show you right here is who it places at the scene. Now, this is not about Nero, but just to set the scene. When I talk about the deadly head wound in Revelation 13, it says, this may be understood as Nero, who was the first to move persecution against the church, and then he slew himself with a sword to the head. Of course, backed by history, whether they say it's a throat or a head wound. Now right here we have a massive clue. So the family of Caesars ended in Nero. But then it says that the empire was reestablished then by Vespasian. Okay, so we are totally talking about the 1st century, specifically the year 70 to 80, maybe even 85 AD. This is where it gets crazy. Take a look at who it places at the scene. It's talking about the beast rising out the earth with 2 horns of the lamb, speaks as a dragon. Mainstream calls him the false prophet. Let's see what the footnote says. There's the Pope's kingdom. It leads to perdition. And all these signifying features signify the priesthood of the kingdom. In his arms, 2 keys, and it has 2 swords carried before him. So Boniface the 8th, which first ordained the Jubilee year, whereas the parallel is one day the Pope and the next the Emperor. This is where it takes a wild turn. Pope Boniface VIII. It says he lived in 1300, but we are clearly seeing things that happened in the 1st century, says the writers of the Geneva Bible. Is it possible he never lived in the 1300s? It did not even exist, but he was actually in the 1st century? Yeah. And of course, he was the Pope. In fact, they did ordain the first Jubilee year in 1300. But let's just prove it even further. Now we're in Daniel chapter 7, where he's talking about his visions of the 4th beast and the 10 horns and the kingdom's 10 kings that shall arise. Remember, this is the 1560 Geneva Bible, which I believe is actually just 560 or around 600 AD because a whole 1,000 years were added. Or should I say, changed. We've seen all the buildings with the 1 added before the 3-digit number. These were the emperors, and they had power to change God's laws and man's laws. Which emperors were they? Tiberius, Caligula, Nero, Domitius. It says 81 to 96, directly after, and the son of Vespasian. Meaning, indeed, Pope Boniface VIII was under Vespasian, who was the son of Domitius. And then, here's the concrete. It says, God by his power shall restore the things that are out of order and dethrone this beast should be destroyed. It even mentions Matthew 24 verse 22. Now before I give you the bonus, I'm actually doing a crazy data dump video for subs and also members on the Red platform. But last year we actually did a video on this on the Red platform. Now the bonus. After Nero was said to have the deadly head wound, it was said that he came back. Nero Redivivus was a legend that he came back at this end of time or end of this period while all this stuff stuff was happening. Does that remind you of anything? He also had structures and statues built of him, and he was also on the money transforming into Apollo the god. And also, let me add that the 1560 Geneva Bible was outlawed by King James. Rabbit hole's deeper than you've been told.
The Epstein file release, there is a new discussion that is happening online of that of Nephilim. I have to stress before I begin that Nephilim and talks of these creatures stem from Nazi ideology. It stems from master race speak. There are two schools of thought. First school of thought is that the Nephilim are fallen angels that were sent down here to kill the big, I can't remember the name of them right now, guys, I apologize. Basically, we had what were Titans before they were classified as Titans, so they came down to kill all of these gigantic creatures during the time of Noah. There are biblical figures that help with this and heed warnings from God, like Noah. Okay. The second is that this is an alien race that first discovered Earth, that came down and then made it into what it is today. They are described as extremely tall, blonde hair, blue-eyed, pale-skinned individuals that hold the power of God. Think original angel, but really is an alien. Now, why is this rhetoric, it just, in my humble opinion, very, very dangerous? Because this is what they were speaking about in Nazi Germany when it came to the extermination of the Jews. They blamed the Jews religiously for the fact that the Nephilim had come to begin with, and thought that all Jews were not pure and they did not fall within the 13 bloodlines of the Nephilim. So essentially, these leaders around the world believed that each of them, or some of them, or someone on earth who was very, very powerful, held the bloodline to the Nephilim immediately. And they turned around and in the same breath said that the reason that the world was the way it was because of the greed of Jewish people, because they were predominantly over the banks, they were predominantly over the entertainment, and they were predominantly over the propaganda. They said that the Jews had infiltrated into every single part of every single piece of every single person's life. They had infiltrated and made the world sour, or had made it gone evil. It was the religious way that they were able to set up concentration camps and exterminate millions of people. So when you're hearing about Nephilim, 13 bloodlines, all these things, I really, really need you to take pause. And this is where the gift of discernment really comes into play. There are a lot of people that tie this whole thing back with Epstein, the Rothschilds, all of these things. They tie them back to this spoken prophecy that is of biblical measure. This is also where the cabal situation comes into play, and it's dangerous. I'm a deconstructed Christian. We grew up with the Left Behind movies. We grew up with the Left Behind books, and this being drilled into our skull. And a lot of that, like Armageddon talk, 13 bloodlines, all those things were also like written, pasted, copied, and then pushed into these books and movies. And it's dangerous. It is a massive, massive dog whistle. I'm not judging you for believing it if you do, but I'm not knocking you if you believe in this kind of thing. I just really hope that while you're reading these files, your mind doesn't just wander in these directions, because it's meant to. They want you to think that it's some alien race. They want you to think it has something to do with these biblical prophecies. They want you to think that because it's a bigger distraction and it makes you look crazy. It takes away from the pain and the responsibility of what these men were doing. And I do believe that Jeffrey, in some capacity, was just a middleman to some degree, but we cannot also say that he was a secretary or he was just a middleman, because that takes the responsibility off of him. It also takes the responsibility off of other people who are in these files who committed these crimes. Each and every single one of these men and women need to pay. There needs to be another Nuremberg. There needs to be, I cannot express to you the anger that I feel within myself and in my soul, over what these people have done to children and adults, and it's just disgusting. I'm not telling you what to believe in, but I'm begging you to please not become distracted.
What we learned in today's videos is that Jeffrey Epstein is a piece of crap, and he's a middleman, but regardless, he still need, even in the afterlife, be taken care of, and also the people that were in that files, they all need to be arrested and trial, and if they wind up collapsing the system, well, maybe the system needs to be collapsed. Because do you want a bunch of bad people that do disgusting things to kids and animals and women be running the world? I know I don't. That's all the videos I got for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed today's content, make sure you leave a like, a sub, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Oh, and before I leave, I would like to say I didn't get a chance to respond to every single comment I got about my voice and my cat, but I would like to say thank you. There's just so many comments, I don't have enough time to respond to every single one of them. But I did read the majority of them, and I want to say thank you for caring about me and my family so much. And with that, see you later.
Called Life Touch, a massive photography company that takes school portraits and yearbook photos every single year for millions of students across the US and Canada. They've been around for decades, by the way. So Life Touch was bought by Shutterfly, and Shutterfly is owned by a company called Apollo Global Management. Now think about this for a second. School photo systems typically include a child's name, their school, their grade, teacher, classroom information, and when parents pay for those photos, they provide their home address, their email, phone numbers, and payment details. All of this information is directly tied to the image of the child and stored long-term for reorders, archives, and future access. They don't delete the photos. And that means that they have an updated photo of you every single year from kindergarten all the way till grade 12. So Apollo's co-founder is Leon Black. He was exposed for secretly paying $62.5 million to the US Virgin Islands to resolve claims connected to the Epstein investigation and child trafficking. These payments and settlements are documented in court records. And Leon Black reportedly paid Epstein around $158 million over several years and eventually stepped down from Apollo because of these allegations. And after that, a man named Mark Rowan took over as CEO. And guess what? Mark Rowan also appears in the Epstein files, including emails arranging meetings and breakfasts with Jeffrey Epstein across multiple years. So people are coming to the conclusion that all of our photos and personal information could have been used as kind of a catalog for them to pick which ones they wanted to target for trafficking. So yeah, go check what company took your elementary school photos. For legal reasons, I am not accusing these people or companies of doing this. This is all alleged.
When I was a kid, I questioned that. I questioned, why do I have to take a photo if we're not even paying for it? And decades later, it's in the Epstein files. That is crazy. It really make you wonder, was they just collecting a bunch of kid photos for a catalog to do who knows what with? And I don't even want to know what they was doing with it.
Hey everybody, so I have finally received like direct confirmation through the Epstein files that there are organizations that use ELF waves or extra low frequency waves and radio waves and microwave technology to neurally monitor people. Like, there is technology in existence. You want to talk about conspiracy theories? It's no longer a conspiracy. There is technology in existence today and in use today that can read your mind through long distance radio wave technology. The people that are victims to this, they're called targeted individuals, and they target children, not just adults. They can sexually stimulate your body by exploiting your nervous system, and they can do this using like the 5G radio towers. I don't know if you guys have like heard the conspiracies and stuff like that from like way back, how like 5Gs would be abused. But if you're wondering why you're not mad enough, my theory is that it's from these 5G towers that they can alter your psychological chemistry, like your nervous system's chemistry, to prevent you from getting angry, to prevent you from feeling happy. They can make you feel sad, and they can also make you feel sexually stimulated. It can come from your TV, it can come from your Wi-Fi router, your cell phone, everything. But now we have direct proof. I'm going to put the Epstein number in the caption below. But what I'm doing is I'm getting parts this Saturday, and I'm going to attempt to build like a radio that should capture and parrot the signals that people get bombarded with, because that way the courts can take us seriously. But now we have direct proof that these weapons are in use today. So thank you for listening.
This woman claims that this is proof that there are non-humans walking amongst us.
Now, I don't say that lightly, like there could be another explanation, but this is pretty freaking weird. Now, you remember in the movie They Live when they put on the sunglasses and they could see the reptilian-y people who are amongst the normal humans? And you know how that movie might have been made about Dicenian goggles, the goggles you put on that can see people's auras, but some people don't have auras because they might not be people? Well, this woman goes to Buckingham Palace, okay? She's in Europe. She's in England. She's using a thermal camera and looking at all kinds of normal people exhibiting a heat signature until she goes in front of Buckingham Palace. She turns around and films the front guards on this side of the gate, and they have a heat signature. But the two guards at the inner gate that goes into Buckingham Palace, in a second I zoom it in and you'll see, they don't have a heat signature, dude. And keep watching because this is extremely bizarre. You'd think someone said, well, their clothes are thick, so you wouldn't be able to see because of their clothes. But look at these two guys on either side of the door. No heat signature on their faces. You'd think for sure, if it's picking up the heat signature of this light, should pick up their face. So now last I checked, reptiles are cold-blooded and have less of a heat signature. I'm just saying, should we get thermal cameras and check things out? Now, according to Google's AI, there is no scientific evidence confirming aliens live among us. As if you'd be waiting around for the science to be settled on that. Dude, by the way, aliens, schmalians, just know if there is any non-human entities out there, they're not from space or through any firmament, okay? They're from other lands. They would be from other lands outside of the ice wall, which I can't wait to explore once human freedom is restored. That being said, could there be other creatures from other realms around us? Honestly, from all the rabbit holes I've been down and how many deceptions we've been deceived by, and all the stuff that we've been fooled about, I would definitely imagine that is not too crazy of a thought for me to entertain, man. Now, do we know there's multidimensional entities around us? Yes. Do they harvest low vibrational frequency emotions? Yes. Is that why you should be extremely positive all the time? That's one of the reasons. Yes. Flip the brainwave state into everything that happens to you is good and everything that is happening is for the better, and it will completely change your reality, and you literally do not need to take my word for that. Try it for 4 days and watch what blessings appear into your life. Oh, and before you ask for anything more, first make sure you are mentioning how grateful you are for what you already have. Okay? Much love, everyone. Follow for more and comment your thoughts below.
I really need to see the movie They Live. I keep seeing it on this channel. As far as the aliens or entities, or whatever you want to call them nowadays, they definitely exist.
So I'm scrolling through the Epstein files and I find something called the Gilgamesh Project. And of course, I'm like, what? Because for those of you who don't know, the Gilgamesh epic is basically the story of this demigod who is not a very good guy, trying to find the key to immortality. He's trying to find the plant to not be mortal anymore because he does not want to die. So I'm like, okay, let me click on Little Immortality Project, and I'm going through it, and it's very interesting because did you know that they can tell how old you are within like 3 years with them just swabbing your cheek and getting your saliva? So all the people who did your 23andMe, they were able to do your DNA pattern sequence just in your saliva and do your age and everything, which is really cool and really neat, except for you find out the only reason why they were able to do what they are able to do, I'm pretty sure that that's why 23andMe existed, because the issue was he needed a way bigger DNA pool than what he had access to. Okay, but so I'm like, okay, this all sounds really interesting. It's really high tech for someone like me. Like I'm from Oklahoma. Okay, we're 50th in education. I am not that bright. What's funny is that Time just did an interview with this guy, Steve Horvath is his name. They just did an interview, and it says the title of the interview is "Can Aging Be Measured and Eventually Reversed?" And he talks about how they study age on a clock, and it's everything from humans to reptiles to just any kind of animal you can think of. They're able to break down the genetic DNA sequence to where the aging is on a clock. And so they think that within our lifespan, that they will be able to expand our lifespan easily to 150 years. So what do you think? Would you like to live until you're 150, 200? I'm not sure. but that's not the point. I will link the PDF in the comments, so please go read it. There's probably a lot more that you could understand than I would, and also I just want to leave with the point of this would explain why they are trying to ban IVF, which means that there is a very high potential that this could actually be real and this could actually be a thing. It's because to be able to manipulate the really big long word that I can't even say, they need stem cells. And what has the most stem cells? Embryos. They have so much more stem cells than like we have, and they're a lot more viable to do things with than say adult stem cells. So that'll be really interesting to see if that actually goes through and they have to destroy the embryos. But that part's just my opinion. My name's Brittany. I've been going through the Epstein files, and I'll keep doing that until the victims get justice or until I can't stop throwing up. So I will see y'all tomorrow.
So he got all of his equipment confiscated after he tried being the first IRL streamer out of Antarctica. Just 1 hour after he started live streaming in Antarctica, he has his Starlink taken away and is told that he can't get it back until he leaves the continent. His Starlink is what allows him to live stream from virtually anywhere on Earth. Now the community notes are saying that it was just the cruise ship policy, that they don't allow Starlinks on board because they want you to pay for their internet or whatever, which sure is true because he was on a cruise ship at the time, but in the video you can hear him getting told that he can't get it back even when he goes on land.
You have a Starlink? Yeah. Okay, it's confiscated. You'll receive it on the way back. You can't use it on the land? Can't use it on the land? No.
And then he posted this video saying this is what he saw before they took away his Starlink. Some sort of massive wall of ice with a cave entrance going into something. Antarctica is the most gate-kept landmass on the entire planet, and we occasionally get glimpses of what people who went there claim they saw. Like that time Mr. Beast, who did a whole video in Antarctica, let it slip on a live stream of what he claimed he saw there and got really nervous after.
Have you ever been to Antarctica? Yeah. Do you believe in ice wall? Yeah, I saw the ice wall. Yeah, you saw it too. I can't say on stream. No way, but we'll talk about it later. That's crazy. He almost leaked it. Let's just say you always need someone with you when you're in Antarctica.
Here's another clip of Neon, who claims that Mr. Beast told him something about Antarctica, but it's Neon, so take it with a grain of salt.
No, but you know what's crazy, bro? I kid you not. Chat, is it not possible to time travel? In Antarctica, they have portals. That's cap. Okay. Well, okay, how do you know? Huh? Like, okay, I know. Why? Trust me. Okay, but why? Trust me. You've been to Antarctica? No, I just know. I'm telling you right now, don't ask questions. There are portals in this world.
Last year, this guy, Ethan Guo, tried flying over every continent on Earth and got detained in Antarctica for 3 months after he flew over a tiny little island down there, possibly getting debriefed and being told that he didn't see anything down there. There's this whistleblower, Eric J. Hecker, a former contractor for the government, claiming they're experimenting with high-tech weaponry down there.
In 2010, I was selected to go down to the South Pole Station in Antarctica for an entire year by Raytheon Polar Services as an employee of a third-party contractor for the National Science Foundation. The technology at the South Pole Station certainly can do what it is presented as its primary purposes, and unfortunately, much more. Unfortunately, when they first fired it up, that was when we had the earthquakes in Christchurch, New Zealand. There was 2 incidental shots before they were able to target it correctly. This is an earthquake-generating device as well.
This encyclopedia from 1958 that talks about a 13,000-foot-high ice dome in Antarctica. And finally, there's this speech by Admiral Richard Byrd, the OG granddaddy whistleblower of Antarctica.
Admiral Byrd, you've been to both the North Pole and the South Pole. Is there any unexplored land left on this Earth that might appeal to adventurous young Americans?
Yes, there is. But strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And that's beyond the pole, on the other side of the South Pole, from Middle America. And I think it's quite astonishing.
That's a tremendous
So
challenge.
there's a lot of adventure left down at the bottom of the world.
Admiral, do you hope to see that?
I do. I think year after year, bottom of the world, because the government has really become interested.
So is everyone just in on some massive joke, or is there something in Antarctica that they're purposely hiding from the rest of us?
The fact that they took all his equipment after 1 hour being in Antarctica is crazy. The fact that they stopped at Starlink just proves that people are watching you at all times. I feel like if somebody has the equipment and skill to get to Antarctica and want to check it out, they should be able to, unless they're hiding something. I personally think they're really hiding something. And the fact that people like Mr. Beast and other real life streamers like Neon say that there's something going on in Antarctica, they're usually trolls, but why would they be trolling about something like that? I just don't, it doesn't make sense to me. It has to be something going on there, but we'll just never know, unfortunately.
What if I told you the United States government went looking for a mythological king right before 9/11? A king who was known to be the descendant of gods. Sounds insane. Stay with me here. Welcome to Conspiracy 101, where I teach you conspiracies in our reality that are both confirmed and contested. This is a part of Anunnaki Part 2, where we talk about Gilgamesh, the man who was 1/3 human, 2/3 god. The Epic of Gilgamesh is one of the oldest pieces of literature that the human history has to refer back to, older than the Bible. Gilgamesh's time goes all the way back to 2700 BC, where he, in the Sumerian king list, was listed as the king of Uruk, aka modern-day Iraq. Now, why was Gilgamesh considered to be 2/3 god, 1/3 human? Well, his mother was recorded to be Ninsum, who was a goddess, and she had a child with a human king. And that is how we got the hybrid Anunnaki of Gilgamesh. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, they talk a lot about how he's a tyrant and he's not a great guy, but they also talk about how he has superhuman strength, he has knowledge passed down from the gods, and amazing longevity as just one giant human. And after a good friend of his, Enkidu, dies, he becomes obsessed with one thing and one thing only, and that thing is immortality. So he goes searching. What Gilgamesh is specifically looking for is a man named Utnapishtim, and he was granted eternal life by the gods for surviving the Great Flood, which we kind of touched upon before. It's the same Great Flood that Noah is referenced in the Bible. And this is where it gets super spicy, okay? This is where the ancient text meets modern history. In early 2001, the United States made it very clear they were going to Iraq to look for weapons of mass destruction. But unofficially, whistleblowers and tons of other people involved in these operations have come out and said that they weren't just going to Iraq for weapons of mass destruction. They were looking for ancient Sumerian artifacts, ancient Sumerian tablets, and any single thing that pertained to that era of ancient Sumeria. And more particularly, they were looking for Gilgamesh's tomb. I mean, they quite literally put the base right on top of where it was supposed to be. Why is Gilgamesh so important to all of these people? I mean, he was a tyrant. He was kind of a the people didn't like him. They prayed to the gods to rescue them from him. But there is a lot more to this story. If Gilgamesh was a descendant from the gods or the Anunnaki, they were looking for his DNA. And it wasn't just to prove that maybe someone was immortal or maybe that someone could be a giant. It was to prove that they had DNA evidence of gods. This is where people get really uncomfortable talking about the truth of what happened in Iraq. They went there in early 2001, and of course, war broke out, chaos broke out. But what they didn't ultimately see at first was that museums were looted, artifacts were taken with literal military precision. It could have only been them doing this. Historians from around the world and from that area have confirmed that thousands of artifacts became missing from Iraq around that time, and they have never, ever resurfaced. Ultimately, the theory here is not that they wanted to prove that there was half gods that exist. They wanted to be the first people with their hands on his DNA. If you have control of that DNA, you can either put it on blast, you can put it in a museum, you can study it, or you can never let it see the light of day. Think about it. Gilgamesh, a human hybrid, could be the first proof that has been documented historically that the origins of humankind are different than we really thought they were. Whether you believe that this was just mythology or if it's just an ancient fiction book, all of these writings, including this one and thousands of others that cross different continents, prove one thing, and that's that humankind did not expand alone without help.
I don't know if I'm ready to go down that rabbit hole yet. That is too crazy for me. I can understand the United States wanting to go to Middle East for oil. That's what I always assumed when I was in high school when this was going down. But for Gilgamesh, I mean, I know a decent amount about him because I know a lot about mythology because I played a game called Smite. But I never knew he was like that bad of a person. I always thought like he was good. That's how the game made him look like he was kind of a good person. I didn't know people prayed for his downfall. But what could they possibly want to do with Gilgamesh? Maybe to ascend beyond being a human, I had to guess. It wouldn't be surprising what the military and billionaires are willing to come up from to try to live as long as possible or to be in power as long as possible.
Why did you cancel the ride, man? You talking about? You just canceled the ride. Nah. My girl ordered it for us. We ain't canceled now. Yeah, but just keep going. You can just keep... Look, my phone says you canceled the ride. It's probably bugging or something. I don't know. Yeah, bro. You ain't canceled shit. I can't take you guys. You could just cancel the ride. Why not? Just keep going. When we get there, I got you with the cash, bro. You guys gotta get out of my car. Bro, just keep going. I can't. Literally, I didn't even move up one block and cancel the ride. What the hell, bro? I ain't canceled shit, bro. I ain't getting out the car. Where are my moms? I'm not taking you guys. You guys gotta get out the car. Taking me. I'll give you the cash when we get there. What are you talking about? Bro, you canceled the ride. They already charged me for the ride. I ain't not getting out, bro. But the ride is canceled. It's canceled, but I'm charged, so I ain't getting out, bro. What you mean you're not getting out? The ride is canceled. Bro, I'm not getting out. Like, what is that hard to understand? Bro, what are you talking about? I'm not getting out. That's what's happening, bro. Like, the ride? Nah, you bugging. Like, go. Bro, I can't. Bro, go before I take your car and I just drive myself to the house. You're not doing that. You're gonna get out of my car. Right now. Just keep going. Yo, don't call me that. Bro. In the bag, bro. Like, chill. Yo, don't call me that. Bro. Don't be racist. Bro, you don't know about us, bro. Like, you canceled the ride. I didn't even drive one block. That's niggas about my body, bro. Like, you don't know about us, yo. Like, you're just trying to scam me to get a free ride. I know what you're. I know what you're up to. Just get out the car and call another Uber, man. I scam you out this car, like. Yo, can you just get out of my car? Somebody, you ain't getting out shit. I'm not moving. Can you get out of my car? What is this? I ordered the Uber. My girl, she ordered it. We got charged. That's it. You gonna go? Literally, I didn't even move up one block and you canceled the ride. I know you ain't canceled. What? I know you ain't canceled. I was driving the whole time. I don't know. I wasn't looking. I was looking at the. Why would I cancel the ride? I need the money. So you could have just got the money.
One I don't know that everyone's ready for. Here is the center of a tree that's being chopped down somewhere in the United States that's gushing water. And you may be thinking, oh, it's probably on like a water main, or maybe it's on like some type of spring. But hold on a second. I present you this flat top mountain, which is constantly gushing water, despite there being no lakes on top of it or rivers nearly at all. And it doesn't always rain there either, but these are constantly flowing. Like Angel Falls in Venezuela, it never stops flowing and it's coming off the top of a plateau, flat-topped mountain. The question you must ask yourself, and literally think about this logically for a second, how did the tops of certain mountains become completely flat? Like really, how? The wind? You think erosion did that? Now, an alternative theory some people are wondering, is there eerie resemblance to gigantic tree stumps? I know. And isn't it what they said, that back in the day, the trees reached the heavens? So are we in a funny time in history where we don't quite know what really happened long ago? Was this Earth before the flood, like in Avatar? Now, just for scale, Devil's Tower, I'm going to zoom out here in a second. You're going to see whereabouts this thing is. It's in Wyoming. And it's a funny spot because when you zoom in on it, and then I go to 3D, you're going to see the true, or at least get an idea of how freaking gigantic this thing is, man. And I'm talking, this actually lets you zoom in quite close to it. Like, it's flat up top. And it has the hexagonal columns. They call them basalt columns. They're all over the world, those columns of hexagons. And that only really exists in nature in plants. I'm just saying, like, all these ancient folklores about giant trees reaching the heavens and giants, is it all just a willy-nilly thing? Or were they telling kind of the truth of what the Sam Bam things were like back then? And this thing, this is in Lake Powell. You're telling me what? Erosion? The wind blew it flat? You got to use your head here because your eyes are telling you something, but your mind is telling you something else because you believe the official story of history. And what do they say about history? It's his story. The winner writes the story, man. Are we being deceived? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more.
You were sold as a child. Your mom didn't even know it. Sold to who? To the state. You are state property. Right? How you think they can do so much to you? It's a company. That's the only way they can tax you. You are not a sovereign citizen. You come from the Moors, lineage, bloodline, but all that was taken away from you. So now, like I said, you go out there, you make $50 an hour. You on that same job, just say 40 years, and you retire. Okay? If you retire before the age they set, they dock you. If you retire after, you only can take a certain amount out, and then they issue your money. So you got people right now in their 70s working because they done retired. You issuing them they pension $1,600 a month, $2,500 a month. That's not even a 1-bedroom, player. So you want somebody to go live in the efficiency? Just think about it. You worked all your life, put other people's kids through school, sent them on nice vacation. Now when it's your time to do it because you retired, you don't even have the strength. The young kids today chase their bag. 90% of the people right now is living with their mama, if they can. The ones that's out there on their own, you know what I'm saying? I want to say 73% of them getting some kind of assistance, using the system. That's crazy. They made it seem though, everything from welfare, housing, and all this other stuff was for us. You sold yourself. Now I'm gonna take you on a little journey real quick before we close. It was a time.
Sadly, I couldn't find the second part of that. But my question is, if any of that's true, can you get out the system? Because I don't know about you, I hate paying taxes because I really don't see where it goes at. I feel like 90% of it goes to the military. Other countries get all this other stuff. We don't get none of that. I feel like United States is like the Sprint Airlines. Like you can be as cheap as you could possibly be, but when you want all the extra add-ons like add-on bags and all this other stuff, more space for your seat and stuff on the airplane, you gotta pay all this extra stuff. You need health insurance, you gotta pay for it, or you get it through your employer. So now you're trapped with your employer. You're most likely gonna need college to get a decent job. Maybe not nowadays, but back then when I was growing up, you needed it. And I'm sure the people watching probably did too, because most of you are older than me. It's just crazy. And what's even wilder is that he onto something too. Everybody I know that's like Gen Z, so like 30 and under, they all live with their parents. All of them. To me, it's crazy. And everybody that's a millennial, so I turned 39 this year, I only know one person that owns a house, and that's my sister, and she's older than me. I don't know anyone else that's a millennial that own a house. I'm not saying it's not possible. It's just kind of crazy to think about. I know some people will try to say the generations they lazy or whatever. And maybe that's true to a certain degree, but regardless, prices are quite insane right now. Even me looking at a house, I'm just like, man, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to afford one. I would love to, but when houses cost $300 on the low end and normally like 400, 500K, it's really hard to even imagine saving up enough money to put a down payment on something like that.
I'm going to 100% prove and explain to you how the Mandela effect works and why we've all experienced this and why it's so shocking. So look at this. You remember Pikachu? Didn't he have that black spot on his tail? Nope. Go try to find a picture of him with a black spot on his tail. There's no black spot. Looney Tunes, wasn't it Tunes with 2 O's? Nope. It's apparently always been Tunes. Chick-fil-A? You thought that it was Chick, C-H-I-C. Nope. C-H-I-C-K. Fruit of the Loom, wasn't there a cornucopia? Nope. Okay, why are we all collectively remembering this wrongly, and I'll tell you how it works. My brother says to me, he has an old VHS of Star Wars: A New Hope when Darth Vader says, "Luke, I am your father." But if you rewatch the tape, he now says, "No, I am your father." He does not say, "Luke, I am your father." So he said, how the hell is that possible? Because I have this tape, I remember it, and the tape never went anywhere. It's a VHS. It's not, no one changed it. I said, you got it all wrong. It's not that they went back and changed this stuff. It's that growing up, we were on a timeline where this is how all these things were. And by the way, there's a million other Mandela effects. This is only a few. And there's some that I bet we haven't even realized yet. Like the Monopoly guy has a monocle. Remember he had a monocle, one glass? He doesn't have one anymore. Check your old 30-year-old freaking Monopoly games. He doesn't have one. So it's not that they're going and changing these things and editing old tapes. It's that we are on a different timeline now, which I know is kind of a strange thought, but time, keep in mind, it's not linear, right? Like it's the past, the present, the future all exist at the same time. So it's not that they're changing things and trolling you. It's that we were on one timeline where Curious George had a tail, and now he doesn't have a tail. Go look at all your old pictures, anything you can. He doesn't have one anymore. We are on a different timeline. What that means is, I don't really fully know. I just know that things are different now than the exact same timeline that we were growing up with. And one of the craziest Mandela effects is actually on the Mona Lisa, which many grandparents of ours and our parents even remember her having a slight smile on her face. But now she looks more, not smiley. So it extends further than just modern pop culture and junk food and stuff. It could be even bigger than we imagine. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more.
Where are you? Are you okay? I loved the torture video. That is an email sent to somebody that has been redacted from Jeffrey Epstein in April of 2009. It's a very simple message, but a very telling message. I loved the torture video. Now, obviously, we all know that the Epstein scandal has involved plenty of notorious, wealthy, powerful individuals. And I've been talking for years on my social media about the reality behind snuff films and torture rings. Those are real things that exist in the real world. A few weeks ago, I covered the Sasha Riley story. I did a whole video breakdown on my YouTube channel and my podcast, The Conspiracy Files. But basically, Sasha Riley is a victim who has come forward, who claims they were allegedly molested by Trump, trafficked by Epstein and the ring itself. But he talked extensively about torture and being filmed during torture. There are actually a lot of victims that have come forward and stated that they were tortured sexually and physically. There are lots of allegations of, especially within these tip sheets that were also released today. At one point, I believe it's a security guy actually claims that if a girl continues to speak up, she might end up as fertilizer. But none of this is new. People who've actually studied this story for years like I have and know investigative journalists, and I even know Survivor, everybody knows that Epstein was not only producing CSAM material, which really in effect served as blackmail material, but it also seems like he was producing, if not snuff films, torture productions. I mean, there are lots of different accounts from survivors that have escaped really, really bizarre circumstances. For example, there are survivors who have talked about Epstein's attempts at human cloning. Some people have claimed they've seen two of Epstein in the same room, like there were two Epsteins. Others have claimed, obviously, they were tortured with different implements and devices. The list goes on and on and on. And I'm assuming that for people who are willing to pay top dollar, Epstein would have been really willing to do anything for those individuals, which would have included, I'm guessing, producing torture and potentially snuff films.
We're just explaining what happened. The files are a big deal right now. They're all over the internet. And you know what's crazy? Epstein has been in everything. You know, he's one of the main reasons why Call of Duty, for my gamer watchers, got microtransactions. It's because he said the kids should be in the economy. How is the kid going to be in the economy? They can't get no job. They always going to take it from their mom's credit card. It just seemed like just the people at the top were they just wanted the most disgusting things. And that's why that person was able to get in the inner circles, because he was able to give them those disgusting things. It's just crazy to think about. People called us crazy. Said, no, none of this stuff is real. Conspiracy theory people making stuff up. They're loonies. Well, who's the loonies now? Because if you've been following this for a long time, you already knew that he wasn't a good person and he was doing some really disturbing stuff. So it's not that surprising for this channel. But for the everyday folk, They looking back at old Hollywood videos saying Holly weird. Oh, Hollywood is weird. And we've been saying that on this channel. That's all the videos I got for today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like, a sub. And before I go, I'll let you update since you watched the entire video. I'll just give you an update on myself. The reason why I've been making videos over the past 8 days is because I got some pretty bad news. My senior cat, who is 16, turning 17, he got cancer. And it was pretty hard for me to accept. Same for my wife. But I just accepted it. He's still walking around, jumping around. If the veterinarian wouldn't have told me, I wouldn't have known. I mean, obviously, looking at him physically, you can tell there's something wrong with him. But he still seemed pretty normal to me. He's still eating. And my rule, as long as he's still eating, I'm not going to put him to sleep on anything. So it's just been really hard, considering 10 years ago, I lost somebody who was very close to me in cancer. And I've lost 2 other friends to cancer. So it just, cancer seems to be the bane of my life indirectly, unfortunately.